KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
We are Sports 1140 KHTK.
KHTK.
Sort of a weird face, kind of unattractive.
Yeah.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
Come on. Let's wake up.
With Jason Ross.
He is wise.
The only local sports talk show that helps you get through your morning commute. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sports 1140 KHTK.
God dang, Nick Cattles.
Loud cans?
Oh, my goodness.
I feel like that happens a lot in that chair.
It's not a Geronimo level.
No.
Don used to have his headphones so loud that you could hear them when you walked in if they were off his head.
I learned that one early on to plug in headphones.
Yeah.
And then not put, sometimes you put them on and then plug it. You can't do that.
No.
You can't do that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, it's Friday.
It is.
Long week.
Yeah. Brutal.
Good to be coming up on the weekend.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. That is Jason Ross. I am Carmichael Dave. Jay Mars is frolicking somewhere around.
Wow, he's always frolicking.
Yeah, he's frolicking. I don't know where he is. He stepped out for a second. Which my very first
Hi.
My very first thing had to do with Jay, but he is not here. So whatevs. Let's see. I got three things I want to talk to you about. Number two, and we'll get back to Jay on this. Do you have a scrambled egg method that you subscribe to?
As far as preparing it, I don't know. Break the eggs, whip them, and
throw 'em
then
in, go.
yeah. But you know what I've been doing lately, and actually I did this yesterday, which was tremendous.
Yeah. We did not talk about this before the show. This is great.
I like to make a scramble in my scrambled eggs. Like if that makes put other stuff in it.
Yeah.
Not just.
Sure.
Scrambled eggs are great.
Sure.
But for example, yesterday I had little green chilies, bacon torn up,
Green chilies are
tomatoes,
wonderful.
and cheese.
Now, do you add those in at the end or the beginning?
While they're cooking.
Yeah. Interesting. I was told to add when you're doing scrambled eggs once. I was told, I like green chilies, I like mushrooms, I like tomatoes. That's all.
Is it supposed to go at the end?
So I was told to do those in a separate pan because they release water and they can break your egg consistency. So if you put them in with the eggs while they're cooking, they begin releasing their water, and it can.
I didn't find that to be true, but I could be. I would trust a chef or someone else that said that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird. It's a weird balance. I don't like I don't know what to describe it, but the consistency of what an omelet is.
Where it's more of a harder.
Yeah,
I agree.
And all the same stuff could be in.
I'm with you.
It's closer. They're not burnt,
right?
But there's a harder edge.
Where they're brown on the outside. There's almost like a crust,
and I don't like that taste as much.
You.
Even if the same contents were put in the omelet,
right?
I would prefer a scramble of my.
We're very similar. I tried a new technique yesterday. It's not a new technique, but it was new to me. It's Gordon Ramsay's method, and I kind of modified it where you don't use milk, you don't use salt, you use nothing beforehand. You take a pat of butter about the size from your fingers, first knuckle to second knuckle. So you cut that off the butter, and then you cut that in half. You put the first half on high heat in a pan, and then you just, once the butter starts bubbling, you crack the eggs in there without stirring them. You just crack them straight out. And then you take a spatula and you start stirring kind of vigorously over high heat. And as soon as they start sticking to the pan, you pull them off, you keep stirring, then you put them back on. Same thing.
Still high heat?
Still high heat. On, off. And then once they start getting to the point where they begin to form a custard, you add the other pat of butter, you turn off the heat because they'll keep cooking. You stir in the butter until it's melted. And then I just added some salt, some pepper, some chives, because I had chives lying around. Put that in there. Now you have this custardy, they're done, but they're very creamy and smooth. And before I started, I took a half of a slice of sourdough bread. I toasted it, and then I put the eggs on that. I slice it in half, so I've just got two open faces. I think I'm going to use that from now on.
Was it pretty good?
It was really, and I'm a weird egg guy.
Yeah.
Eggs are a little weird for me. That was excellent. Cheese and eggs is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I love American cheese and eggs. It's just so melty. And
it's just cheese, so that's
cheesy.
good.
So if you get a chance, everyone, if you're a scrambled egg person, I suggest look up Gordon Ramsay scrambled eggs. It's like a 4-minute thing, and I very much enjoyed it.
I think the only version of eggs that I've not is soft boiled.
Soft boiled are actually, if they're done right, they're a little. You set a timer, you follow the directions and all that, but it helps to have. There's a little thing we have at home. It's like a circle with it's like a plastic circle with teeth in it and like scissors, like scissor handles. And when the soft boiled egg is done, you put it over the top of the egg and you go, and it clicks off the top of the egg, and then you kind of like spoon out the white and eat it.
Oh, that's how you eat a soft boiled
Yeah,
egg?
and then
Out of the shell?
Out of the shell.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
I mean,
don't
not
know.
everybody does, but that's how we have a thin spoon, eat it out of the shell with some toast.
So it's obviously like partially cooked?
It's cooked. But it's not all set. The
it's
inside of
runny.
the egg is still. Imagine like making over easy eggs, but in the shell.
It's weird. Yeah, like over easy
Yeah.
I'm fine with.
Yeah.
But like that other part
Yeah,
sounds.
you just dig it right out of the shell, put it on some toast.
I've not had that.
Jay is back, so I can get to the thing I was going to get to first. Jay, wanted to give you the floor for a quick second to see if you wanted to make a public apology, which I know you
To who?
owe to Scott Pollard.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to give you a chance.
Uh-oh.
Sure. I'll own that one, even though I do have a caveat because I always do. Public apology to one Scottard Pollard.
Yes, that's his
Scottard
full name.
is his first name.
Don't call him Scotty, by the way. That's for real. Never call him
Well,
Scotty.
it'd be impossible to call him Scotty because he only has one T in his name.
That's a good point.
I forgot that he was on that 2008 Celtics championship team. Now, in my defense, I was doing this based upon active rosters via Basketball Reference. Scott was not active.
Wow.
Scott wasn't inactive.
So you're saying Scott did not deserve a ring?
I'm not saying Scott didn't deserve a ring. I'm just saying Scott was not on the active roster
Okay.
during the NBA Finals.
All right, I understand that.
So it was at the end of the day, it's my error. I will own it.
We appreciate that.
So
It's an example for the kids.
everybody make sure you tweet Scott that I said I'm sorry.
I think we should.
I will tweet him as well.
see if he. Yes, yeah.
But
I
just don't put any context. Just say Jay Mars is sorry.
It's Apology Friday. I made a public apology to Billy Ocean yesterday.
Yeah.
And I went on a Billy Ocean run. We were way behind. There's at least one, if not two, more hits that we didn't get to after our Billy Ocean discussion yesterday. And I'm now ready to say that Billy Ocean was one of the leading, if you want to even call it R&B, but balladeers of the 80s.
Yeah.
Great ballads.
Great ballads. Really good ballads. So
We really should change one of our oceans to Billy. Do we need the Atlantic?
No. Make
Billy
that
Ocean.
Billy Ocean.
Yeah.
The Arctic.
Oh, come on. That's Billy.
Antarctic, please. Finally, speaking of examples to the kids, Jason, I told you this. I wanted to share it with Jay. Had a great parenting moment yesterday.
Yeah.
So you may remember, some of you, a couple weeks ago, I think I told the story in the air, but it mixes up. I went to my daughter's band played at Marine World, or whatever it's called now. And they get back to the school.
Six Flags Discovery Kingdom.
Six Flags, it's Marine World.
Bro, it's 2020.
I-
Most people
I'm
have
just-
never heard
yeah.
of Marine World Africa USA.
It's Marine World Africa USA. It's still Marriott's Great America. So she calls when she's on. They took a bus down, a little school bus, and back. She calls and says, "Hey, Daddy, I'm going to be there." Okay, no problem. I'm in the parking lot, and she sees me pull up, and I go park about from me to you, Jay. And she sees me. This is an important part of the story. She sees me, but she is talking to her friends. That's fine.
Yeah.
Wrap things up.
She's a freshman in high school.
You get it.
Right, I get it. 15 minutes later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Thank you. Still talking to her friends. I call her phone. I see her look at her phone and click ignore and keep talking to her friends.
Does it come up as Carmichael Dave?
Yeah. Call
Daddy.
Carmichael Dave with Jason Ross.
Yeah.
Got it.
Daddy, exactly.
My two dads.
So then I get out of the car. She sees me. Nothing. Then I start walking towards them.
Did you
Oh,
roll up the
boy.
boombox?
Close. We get about halfway there. I get about halfway there. And then she starts walking over. The first thing, this one set me off. First thing she said, "Daddy, you cannot do this. You cannot get out of the car. It's embarrassing." And I'm like, oh.
Oh, boy.
No. So
Oh,
I'm
boy.
like, I'm about 3 seconds away from lighting you up in front of everyone. I'm not going to raise my voice, but listen. And I go into this whole thing. You do this to your mother every morning. Mom leaves with the kids to go to school. Avery is always late. She's always running back in for a water bottle, shoes, whatever the hell. You don't do it with me, though. You respect my time. I'm not an Uber. I will pick you up. I'm your dad. That's my job. You don't pay me, but I expect please, thank you, and respect the time. All you
Well
have
done.
to do is be ready When we leave, ready to pick you up. Fine, whatever. Okay. By the way, again, didn't raise my voice. I wasn't like pointing in her face or anything, but we're obviously having a very candid conversation in the middle of the parking lot. Next day, her teacher apparently asked her, she goes, "Is everything okay at home?"
Dad's a maniac.
Right. So I emailed the teacher I emailed the teacher and I was like, "Hey, listen, first off, thank you. I actually like that. Check in with the kids. Some kids, everything may not be okay at home. So I actually appreciate that." And then I kind of explained the story. It was fine. Fast forward to last night. Her band is playing at, her school band's playing at, I forget the school, graduation. And it's at the Roseville, the
Galleria.
Yeah, no, it's
Yes.
at the, whatever it's called.
Marine World.
The Rose, yes. She calls me, watching the finals. She calls me, "Daddy, ready to go." Okay, no problem. It's like 12 minutes to get there, so I'm kind of jamming through. And I get there, no Avery. I call her on her phone. She's like, "Daddy, I'm sorry. I'm trying to respect your time. These people won't shut up. I'm trying to get out right now." I'm like, "Okay, you know what? It's the last day of school. I respect that." 5 minutes later, no Avery. I call her, no pickup.
Oh,
Call her 2 minutes later. She picks up. I'm like, "I'm leaving in 5 minutes."
you're 4 or 5 seconds from wilding.
Right.
Excellent.
I won't be back for 2 hours. You're going to have to wait here, which, of course, is a total bluff on my part.
Right.
5 minutes go by. I still don't see her. And then I finally see her walking up, and I'm where all her bandmates are, right? So I wait for her to be able to see me, and then I turn to a couple of the guys that are waiting to leave. They're waiting for their parents. And I go, "Hey, guys, how'd you do tonight?" They're like, "Oh, it was great." I was like, "Really? How did she do?" Was she nervous? They're like, "Oh, Avery was great. No problem." She sees this, and like literally I see the color go out of her face. She puts her head down.
Daddy, talk to boys.
So her hair is like in her face, and she looks like the kid from The Ring.
Nice.
And she walks past me. I go, "All right, boys, take care. Good job." We get in the car. By the time I get in the car, she has lost it. We're talking tears, the red face, the whole thing.
Wait till tomorrow's email from the teacher.
Right, exactly. I'm like, what's wrong? She said, "Daddy, you can't talk to them." "Why?" "You just can't talk to them." "Why is that? Why them?" Because they don't like it when people talk to them. They were
is that so?
They were perfectly polite and nice, sweetheart. You can't do it. That's so embarrassing. I'm like, "Okay, but you realize you did that, right? You didn't respect my time." I said, "Next time this happens, I'm going to pull out baby photos and I'm going to lead them in song."
Yeah.
And I will do this. She lost her mind, and the lesson there was, as I often do with her, I didn't do this. You know the rules and parameters. When you break the rules and parameters, for every action equal and opposite.
Tell her next time you're going to show up in your gardening cleats.
I was in sandals and socks.
Yeah.
I will say that.
So did this just open the door to you and Melissa's conversations? Okay, anyway.
Day 4.
Oh, man.
Standoff day 4 going into the weekend. You know what? And if we did, I don't think we will. But if Melissa and I were to get a divorce, for example, one thing that would make sense. No, I'm just saying, if this never worked out and we never talked again, we're going to have to sell the house at some point in the proceeds. And what better way to do that than go to opendoor.com? Yeah, baby! It's Fun and Games Friday! Go to opendoor.com because maybe something happens in your life. Maybe it's not a sudden divorce. Maybe it's a new job. I guarantee you Avery's going with her.
I'm going to go talk to those guys now.
The sad thing is, if we did get a divorce, we go to the divorce counselor or whatever. You know, people like argue over custody. We'd both be like, "All right, so you're getting Avery? No, you're getting. I'll give up the car. You know, that's me. And
I'll go anywhere.
I'll go. I know. Can I have cheeseburgers?" I started going to Open Door a couple years ago because it makes sense. And when you own a home, it's nice to know what you could sell your house for immediately. And also, do it without the realtors. Do it without all the garbage that goes with that. It just makes no sense. You go to opendoor.com. You get an offer within minutes after you tell them a couple things, you answer a couple questions about your house. Super duper simple. No realtors, no staging, none of that stuff. None of that stuff. Go to opendoor.com/my offer. That's opendoor.com/my offer to get that offer today, as a matter of fact. And listen, I've done it. You go check it out. Make it happen. happens. It's that simple. opendoor.com/my offer. Remember, Open Door are represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc., license 02061130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets. Offer eligibility varies. When we get back, the Celtics take game one, and a legend retires. We'll do it all after this.
Let's do it.
It's time for Leading Off.
Right
Brought to
now.
you by
Yeah,
Lasher's
we're
Elk Grove Dodge.
Hey, we're
where
back.
For over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number one.
Over the shoulder pass. Marcus Smart, left side three. Good night.
Somebody's texted, I see a teen mom in your future. Better relax.
Wow.
Better,
So
relax.
I responded to that.
Better relax.
Not okay.
Better relax, lady.
I don't even make those jokes.
Ugh.
Not okay at all.
Yeah. Watch your mouth. May a diseased yak spit in your cereal.
Yes, well done, Johnny.
Thank you, and well done on your part, too. The
Hey, now.
Boston Celtics take game one with an amazing fourth quarter. Best part of this, making it all about myself, I tweeted out after the first quarter, just tough to find a road for the Warriors to be able to beat the Celtics in this series. Oh my
Hater.
Oh my God, the people in their feelings, and then the dunking, like, boy, this take turns stale fast. This is better. Just going ballistic. It's always nice to go back and be a child and go back through all the tweets and be like, what were you saying?
An
again?"
overreaction on a quarter or a half or a game?
Exactly. You and I both picked the Celtics before the game
Right.
started. And listen, this means nothing. In fact, a little later on, we've got some numbers for you that show you just how little it means. But 40-16 in
That was stunning.
fourth?
Stunning. It was a great game, by the way. Like
It
the
was
game.
a wonderful game.
For a playoffs, it's been just,
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't really been very good. There hasn't been a lot of
Nope.
memorable games. That was a terrific basketball game. High level basketball.
Records were set.
Yeah. But it was just good. They were good. It was good play.
Jason, you got the feeling when you were watching last night's game. I mean, I got the feeling when I was watching last night's game. We're watching the two best teams in basketball.
It looked like it, at least last night.
I
That
felt
was-
like we were watching the
yeah.
two best teams
And it
in
was
basketball.
entertaining. You know what's at stake. It was
Oh.
game one, but
Yep.
still, like, imagine if that was like a game seven. I mean, it's just really good basketball.
One of the things I really enjoyed last night also was Marcus Smart being mic'd up. I
Yes.
thought
Yes.
that was the perfect
Yes.
person to put the microphone on.
The Warriors won the first quarter 32-28. The Celtics won the second quarter 28-22. The Warriors won the third quarter 38-24. Boston won the fourth quarter 40-16. Would you believe that is the first time in NBA Finals history that a separate team has won every quarter? No, I don't know. That's probably not a true stat. But doesn't it
It
sound
sounded
like
believable.
It's kind of believable, right? Like, I feel like I got it like a 60-40 shot that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That 50-50.
The one I did hear that blew me away was that 40-16, so 24-point differential, was Steve Kerr's largest deficit in any quarter ever.
Really? Wait, really?
Does that sound right?
Yes.
That's what it was said.
Oh, it was? Okay. I thought
Yeah.
you were I thought he was getting
No,
me.
I
I was
don't-
waiting for the
He
punchline.
got you good.
I know. He was being serious.
I know.
They had a team that won 15 games
That,
one year.
right. And that
They were
is-
never outscored by more than 24 and a quarter?
that is, which is ridiculous. Also, the first time a first-year head coach has ever outscored another team by 24 in a finals quarter.
Yes.
Has to be a fact,
Yeah,
right?
we're
I
going
think
with
Casey Jones did it in '84.
Oh.
Steve Kerr might have done it, right? No, did he make it his first? Yeah, he did. They
Yeah.
won a championship his first.
Yeah.
Could have happened. You know what we should do? Made up or
Yes.
real stats today.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
vote.
we don't need to be cable news guys. Come on.
It's easy on the
Give me
breaking
the
news
breaking
banner.
news banner.
Number two.
Cut number two.
The tunnel thing was weird because this is the first time in my 16-year career I've had to go to the bathroom so bad that I had to go during the game. And so I ran in there to take a pee, and then I came back out. And when I came back out, Flo said, hey, get ready, you're going in. So I took the obligatory 7 warm-up throws and went out there and tried to make something happen.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It's not Ryan, it's Ryan.
Good for Patrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick has retired. Listen, Ryan Fitzpatrick's making no Hall of Fames.
Oh.
Right?
Why not?
Ryan Fitzpatrick, here's the Hall of Fame he'll make. The Hall of Fame of living your best life. with his open buttoned shirts and his taco meat flying out.
Like Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Yeah.
His Fitzmagic, 17 seasons, made a boatload of cash. In fact, I saw a stat yesterday. It was, I think per year he averaged something like $18 million or something silly, which is $16 million more than the average Harvard graduate makes in that same span or something.
He has a tiger skinned rug in his living room, doesn't he?
100%. Here's the thing
In
with
his van.
He's his big like Mystery Machine.
Yes.
Yes. He's 39 years old. He has made, like I said, a ton of money. He started 147 games. He's a Harvard grad, and he has the rest. I don't like jinxing stuff.
Who's here?
Well, I'm just saying, knock on wood, a long and fruitful life ahead of him.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, doesn't it seem like we're inevitably going to see him in a broadcast booth? Should he want to?
Well, he should be a part of the Manning cast at least one time.
Yeah,
like
why not?
he's perfect.
I don't feel like we've seen the last or heard the last of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No.
He's going to do something.
I feel like the next time we see him, though,
Yeah.
he should be 100% clean shaven,
Oh my
and nobody
God.
will know who it is.
Oh
On
my-
Survivor.
I know that's right. Like, I don't remember Ryan Fitzpatrick without a beard.
Or like on HGTV, it's like building houses with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I could totally see him
Right?
hosting
It's
it, or
like
a game
he's-
show.
Yeah, a game show.
Yes.
Press your luck.
The Mannings they're producing some game show. It's like Jenga, but with real life stuff and like cake and stuff like that. And I saw a commercial for it. It's like, executive produced by Peyton Manning.
Oh.
He made Ryan Fitzpatrick made $82 million in his NFL.
Did he ever make a Pro Bowl?
I do not
I think
believe.
everybody does.
I do. Let me get off the Arizona Cardinals Wikipedia page real quick.
I'm
Thanks.
always there.
Just to see Ryan Fitzpatrick. Well, because remember, we were trying to figure out the worst franchise. Ryan Fitzpatrick career highlights.
2 Pro Bowls.
Ivy League Player of the Year.
Yes.
First team All Ivy League. Ivy League champion, all in 2004. That's it.
Wow.
All right.
There's more to his career.
In all his seasons, over under Ryan Fitzpatrick, let's say 2,200 rushing yards.
Rushing?
Rushing.
Under.
Over.
2,625 rushing yards.
Dang it.
Rushing touchdowns, 23 over or under.
Under.
Over.
21. Oh, jeez.
I want to get them all
Maybe
wrong.
learn more about Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
bro.
All right, over under Ryan Fitzpatrick teams, 9.
Push.
Push.
Ah, it is a push. You both got my trick question. All right, fine. Number 3.
Cut number 3.
I mean, there's so much going on. I'm just still shocked that I'm even here.
Coco Gauff gets to her first Grand Slam final.
Jared's sibling.
She's
Coco Crisp's niece.
all right. Coco Gauff is 18 and she's in the final. She
Yes.
hasn't lost a set. But you just said the thing about Jared Goff. I want to ask a question I've been waiting on for a while. Have you guys seen the Matt Stafford AT&T commercial?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he looks in the camera. He's like, you mean, you can love
gives a
something for
wink.
12 years and he gives the wink? If that was like Chris Webber after he went to the Lakers and won a title and he was doing that same commercial, but it was about the Kings, wouldn't that be like the worst commercial we've ever seen in our life? Like, I feel like Detroit Lions fans look at that commercial and their blood starts boiling.
Or they laugh.
But we wouldn't.
No, we wouldn't.
And
because
we're like the Lions of
the
basketball.
thing is, like, the Kings had a shot. The Lions, not really.
They've broken all their TVs.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll take a break. Listen, when we get back, Adam Silver addressed the media as he does for game 1 of all the finals. That's a commissioner tradition. We'll give you the highlights, including could we be seeing a shortened season? We'll get to that next.
Sports 1140.
KHTK.
For
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to text them right now.
916-339-1140. Sports 1140. KHTK.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Jay Morris. 1-800-912-1140 is the phone number. 916-339-1140 is where you can text us. Go to YouTube and say hi.
Yeah, Mike's in there. Mac Nunn's in there.
Mac Nunn, is there a
Logan's in there.
Is there a Max Hump?
GS32's in there. Some guy named Jason Ross is in there.
G.S32.
My bad.
Who I'm just going to call Jerry. I don't know, G. Gary?
No, or is it like Jerry Rafferty with the G?
Oh, most famous saxophone solo of all time?
Ooh, it's either that or like Careless Whisper, right?
Careless Whisper.
Kenny G.
Baker Street. Wasn't Kenny G a clarinet? Was he a
maybe.
saxophone? Henry Mancini, Pink Panther.
Yeah. There you go, poll question of the day.
Yeah, and MASH? I don't know, the MASH theme?
Pretty iconic for people your age, yeah.
There's got to...
Ooh.
Or MASH was before my time. It was before my time, dude. I think we're looking at the same Adam Silver clips. Let's get to that before we have age wars.
Which one do you want?
Well, you know what? Let's talk about the regular season first and foremost.
Is there a way to...
Adam was asked. Shut up, Adam.
You'll be called on when we're ready.
Jeez. Adam Silver was asked about, injuries and managing loads and all that stuff, and, he got to the regular season length.
Is there a way to improve what to many people is a long regular season? And one of the ways we're thinking of doing that is an in-season tournament, something we've been talking a lot about. We're not there yet. We continue to talk to the competition committee about it, our team governors, the Players Association, to see is there a way throughout the season to create more meaningful games, more games of consequence, potentially a tournament that would arguably replace some of the regular season games, but would be more meaningful.
I love the idea of a regular season tournament in the sense that I'm a soccer guy, sort of, and I get, Champions League and the FA Cup and all that, and I just don't know if you got to be America's a different breed, man.
Agreed.
And I don't know what could you put up there that is going to get contracted players on a team to get up for this tournament. It would have to be. It's not going to be draft picks.
No, they don't care.
A lot of people say, "Oh, do draft." Trust me. Think about your job. Do you want to work harder so that somebody can come in and maybe replace you? No. It would have to be like a stupid amount of money.
That or like a guaranteed playoff seed.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, if you're a player, what do you actually care about? Because think about it, the stars of the league, they're already getting paid boatloads of money. I'm sure like an extra $500,000 for winning a tournament's not really going to entice them to play.
So maybe you give the top 6 teams from both leagues, they don't get to play in the tournament. They get that week off. And then you take the remaining 18 teams.
I think it's got to be everybody.
But then if the prize is a playoff spot that's guaranteed, what if you're the Bucks or the Warriors or something? What are you playing for? You're already going to be in the playoffs. I don't know. I that's interesting, Jay. I don't know how you do that. I mean, it would have to be like seriously, like $5-10 million a player, something.
It would have to be something ridiculous that they're not going to pay.
Right. I don't know. Nobody's going to care about a special trophy or a shield or a blanket or whatever.
Well, also, if you have everybody, let's just say, in a high-profile team with a couple stars on it wins, so they get that guaranteed playoff spot.
Yeah.
I think some of this is done so you get more guys playing more games. If my team's in, then am I shutting it down late? Like, well, I'm already in.
So now are you
not playing less games, more load management?
You're not tanking.
I'm in.
And the whole load management thing is so weird to me, dude. Like every time the conversation comes up, I'm always on the side of the newer the player, the better the player. Like players now are better than the players were obviously in the 50s and 60s, but even in the 80s and 90s. Well, medicine and this and that, whatever. How is it that we had 2-3 players, if that, play 82 games this year? Mm-hmm. And back in the day, everyone played. If you weren't hurt, we had a ton of people.
Didn't Jordan at 40 play all 82?
Yes. AC Green played 800 straight games or something stupid.
Well, even like 2 years ago, LeBron played in all 82.
Right. How is it that now in the whole league, we had like 2 or 3 guys play 82 games?
Well, and the crazy part is, too, with all the advances in modern medicine,
Right,
the way these
saying.
guys can keep their bodies up, but they're breaking down quicker. And, that goes into the whole philosophical question, like, does this start at the AAU level? Guys playing too many games at 12 years old, and I think there's something to that, by the way.
Are players, you got to ask the question, are players as a whole softer? Are they softer? I'm asking. Are they softer now than they were in the 80s and 90s?
I think I think there's definitely something to explore
I
there for
hate
sure.
that argument, dude. Like, back in the 80s, you would have gotten clothesline. That's not no.
Maybe coddled more.
Coddled. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. I don't know. All right. Adam Silver wants to try to improve the regular season. Here's what he's thinking about.
I'm not against potentially changing the format of the season, even possibly shortening it a bit, if we can demonstrate that that's going to have a direct impact on injuries.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a lot of postseason injuries.
Yeah, I don't. He also talked about tweaking the All-NBA voting because contracts are tied to it. Some contracts are tied to it.
That's a big deal.
Trying to figure out, the better combination of players, media, if you put fans in.
Well, I think it's also that 2-center thing that we just had with
Yes,
Jokic and
it's a huge thing.
Embiid, where they're 1-2 in the finals, or in the final votes for MVP, but only one gets first team, and it's like
that's dumb.
That doesn't make any sense.
And I think Adam's right in what he said. He said, we have been moving more towards and thank you, Vivek, a positionless basketball type of thing. That would make more sense. Like, there's no reason to the All-Star game. I understand you got to have, people play positions. So to a point, whatever. But there's no reason to have the All-NBA be by position. That's
have
dumb.
the 15 best players.
To have the 15 best players. That's it. They're not going out and playing a game. You don't have to worry about who's going to defend at center. Just the 15 best players, because a lot of contracts are tied, especially rookie deals. And what you're eligible for when you get off your rookie deal in part is tied to all NBA teams.
Is all NBA defense also positioned?
I believe so.
I think it is.
That should be another one. Just 10 best defenders in the league, man.
I completely agree. Although I do think there is something to, like, how you have your all defensive first team and then you have your defensive player of the year. I would be open, because, it's my decision. I would be open to the idea of having, like, this isn't what it would be, but something like a front court defensive player of the year, back court defensive player. I don't like the fact that Marcus Smart's like the first guard to win it in like 80 years or whatever it was. Like, it is different. Rudy Gobert plays a different type of defense than Marcus Smart does, and vice versa. It's not the same. Do I have anything else from Adam worth noting?
Nah.
I don't think we do. A couple of things I wanted to throw.
But I know he did talk about expansion too.
Yes, he did. Thank you. He said that the reports that it is inevitable that there will be expansion after 22 and 23. He goes, that's not true. But then he also said that
we will expand.
We're going to expand. Yeah. He's worried about diluting the talent pool in an additional 30 players. He mentioned that Vegas and Seattle, amongst others, are great markets. You and I were talking before the show. If you had the opportunity for the expansion, what if Adam Silver came to Sacramento and said, "Hey, we'll give you a choice. We can give Seattle the Sacramento franchise like they would have had before, or Vegas. We'll give Vegas because Seattle would want the Sonics. We'll give Vegas the Sacramento franchise. So they get the Kings and all the Kings history, going back to Rochester, but you get a brand new start, brand new team, brand new uniforms, brand new team name, brand new roster. You can do that, or you can keep this."
No, I keep this.
I tried to talk myself into
this is us. This is what we've lived.
I tried to talk myself into it, like, ultimately, like, wouldn't it be nice to have a fresh start? Maybe the Kings thing's a curse. Maybe the franchise is cursed. I mean, they're going into their
We'd lose Slamson.
We would lose Slamson, but we'd also lose 100 years of subpar NBA play for the most part. And we get to, have a new, the Sacramento Capitals, Sacramento Rivers. That's like Lakers. Sacramento Trees. No. Hey,
Sacramento Farm to Forks. Come on, it's right there.
It's pollen.
Sacramento allergies.
Yes.
I'm an allergy.
Sacramento Bridges. It's like
That
3
sounds
of them.
Sacramento close to stuff.
Yes,
an
the
hour away.
Sacramento,
Sacramento armpit.
The hours away. No, what? Sacramento armpit, dude, bro. Gotta chill. Players all played. Health and safety protocols hit the media hard, and it was a Kings-centric finals from this perspective. It was. We'll get to that next.
Nobody. It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
I like this guy.
With Jason Ross on Sports 1140.
KHTK.
I'm going to give an unsolicited plug to The Athletic. My, whatever it is, $37 athletic subscription. It's not that expensive. Paying for itself this month. I don't know what the impetus was, but they're doing these series of articles that I'm finding incredibly enjoyable, where they're going around and asking for stories on certain players. And the first one I read was on Zach Greinke. And these are long-form articles. And they went around and talked to anyone, players, catchers. I think actually that one was all catchers. Just to give us Zach Greinke stories. Yeah. And Zach's one of the...
Isn't he odd?
He's an odd duck, man. Yeah. But I loved it because I had thought Zach Greinke, I knew he had social anxiety issues. But I'd always, if somebody said, what kind of guy is Zach Greinke? I'd say, he kind of seems like not a bad guy, but just kind of a ding-dong. And then you read all these anecdotes about how unique he was, but they all love him. They love him.
Cool.
Then the next one I read a few days ago was on Ichiro.
Oh, you were telling me about that.
I was telling you about that. And not just, him standing up and saying, let's go beat their fat blanking A words.
In the All-Star game, right?
In the All-Star game, and then every All-Star game after. But just Ichiro would eat, the chef would make Ichiro chicken wings, and they even put the recipe in there, special chicken wings for Ichiro, and just all these different stories about him, right? I just saw this during the break, and I'll just give you the first paragraph. When Don and Robin Graw agreed to be a host family for the Single-A Cedar Rapids Colonels in 2010, they weren't sure what they were signing up for. They'd done it as a favor to Lanny Peterson, the Colonel's housing coordinator, who'd brought up the idea at church one Sunday. Oh, that might be fun. The team flew in one evening, the first week of April 2010, and bussed to the stadium. Don and Robin were given the names of two 18-year-olds they'd never heard of. They wandered the concourse, weaving past bags and baseball stuff until running into a lanky, laid-back Californian and an energetic Jersey kid who introduced themselves as Tyler and Mike. Tyler Skaggs and Mike Trout.
Wow.
And, of course, Tyler Skaggs' tragic end to his life a few years ago, and Mike Trout. And those are these two 18-year-old kids that are living. And first off, how amazing is it that at that professional level, you have major million-dollar prospects and, run-of-the-mill players living with people.
Right.
Because that's they can't afford it otherwise. The teams can't. But imagine now going back for the good and the horrible, having said, I had a couple 18-year-olds with us. It was Tyler Skaggs and Mike Trout.
You might have heard of him.
Yeah, you might have heard of them. So I'm only about halfway through that.
That's
but
cool.
I'm very, very, and again, shout out to The Athletic and whoever idea this was. I want more and more of that. I said it was a Kings-esque presence at the finals, and I'm not just talking about Matt George.
Oh, he was there.
He was there.
Yeah.
He was doing TV, the whole thing.
Was.
Matt, maybe, I'm on radio. I get you too, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know the beard or not. I felt like Matt should be a clean-shaven Matt George, but I thought he did great.
Yeah.
I thought he did great. I'm doubling down on that. I thought he did great. See what I did there?
No.
Proud of Matty George. But with Mike Breen out, health and safety protocols.
Yes.
Jeff Van Gundy out.
Which was predictable. He sounded terrible in Game 7.
You mentioned that too, and you're 100% right. It ended up being...
And Woj.
And Woj out.
Yeah.
So Sam Amick was there, so he now becomes the top NBA reporter in there from he's from Pleasanton, but Sacramento guy, Elk Grove. And you have Mark Jones, who was our play-by-play guy, and you have Mark Jackson, who was almost our coach.
Yeah.
Very King-centric.
Yes. I felt like, and I know she did radio, Doris, like that would have felt like a good time. Like, I don't know, maybe in the finals felt like it needed a third person. The game was great, though, so I don't know that it needed more.
I thought Mark did a really good job.
They did.
I thought they both did fantastic. Yeah. And I thought the chemistry between the two.
Well, they've done game. I mean, that didn't sound uncomfortable or foreign by any means.
I love Jeff Van Gundy. Yeah. I love Mike Breen. I'm just saying, I did not find myself watching the game going, oh, this sounds weird.
Yeah.
Although I think it was, I think he said Steph Curry was hotter than fish grease. And there was one other Markism in there. And I don't know. I guess it's gotten to the point, which is good for him, where me as a Kings fan, I'm like, hey, no, that's ours. Those are ours.
Yeah.
But, jeez, I'm so glad you said that. How does Doris Burke not get promoted up for the game? Come on,
I know, again,
man.
she was doing radio, but she's done more work on the finals, and it just, I know, it's a scramble, but it just felt like they could have
They could have 100% done that, and you promote somebody else. I happen to, if Doris Burke isn't the best analyst, color commentator, whatever you want to call it, in the sport, she's on the list.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I thought, I could not agree with you. So I thought that was interesting.
We also got our over-under already done in game 1. Stauskas.
Played
a minute. Bielitsa played a minute. Bielitsa had a 3.
We knew, I think we kind of knew that Bielitsa would play.
Yeah.
Stauskas getting
in game 1.
In game 1.
In what was a surprising, I say blowout. It really wasn't until the very end, but it was. That's how we got in.
Important minute.
Yes. He was a -3, though. I'd be concerned about that.
Yeah, but it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
You know, 1 minute he was -3 and with zeros. You know, he did not turn the ball over either.
Right.
Not one time.
That's good.
I have some notes for you guys.
Okay.
Some things NBA put out that I thought were interesting. Teams that win game 1 of the NBA Finals. Jay, play along. Teams that win game, unless are you really busy doing stuff? I see you're busy doing something.
I can participate.
Okay. Teams that win game 1 of the NBA Finals have gone on to win the series 70.7% of the time, 53-22. But teams that win game 1 of the NBA Finals on the road have gone on to win the series this percentage.
96.
82.
82, 96, and 82. Teams that win game 1 of the NBA Finals have gone on to win the series 70.7% of the time, but teams that win game 1 on the road have gone on to win the series 47.1% of the time. They're 8-9.
Oh, the Celtics are screwed.
Now I started thinking
also,
about
there's only been 17 game 1 wins by the road team.
By the road team. And so I thought the only thing I can think of is if you win game 1, if you're the home team, so you're probably the better team in game 1, like regular season-wise.
Generally.
So maybe it's a fluke. I don't know. But that blew me away. You get home court advantage in game 1, and you actually have a losing record in the finals.
Who was the last team to do that, to lose game 1 at home?
I don't even know.
I think I think the Heat did that.
And it's like, it doesn't make sense to me, but I thought that when I saw that stat, I went, my God, that's crazy. Boston improved to 8-2 on the road in the playoffs.
Impressive. Very impressive.
Golden State lost for the first time at home in the playoffs. Prior to last night, the Warriors had won 13 consecutive game 1s at home in a playoff
Well, and that's the one thing that's been their calling card. Like, they are really good at getting ahead in a series.
Yeah.
And, I mean, not now. They still can win the series, of course, but, like, that was really good for Boston to win game 1.
The Celtics outscored the Warriors by 24 points, 40-16 in the fourth quarter. That ties the record for the largest point differential in any quarter of an NBA Finals game. The Celtics made 21 threes, the second most by a team in an NBA Finals game. The record is 24, also against the Warriors by the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2017. 9 threes for Boston in the fourth. Tied the record for most threes by a team in any quarter. The Warriors made 9 threes in the first against the Cavs in that same series. And then finally, and there's a few more here. Let's go with Jason Tatum. It was 3 of 12 last night.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum had 13 assists. Did that just get louder?
Yes.
You too?
Yeah.
That was weird. And
Whoa, again.
It did it again. That's the most assists by a player in his NBA Finals debut. Is that you doing that?
Yeah, I was trying to turn your computer up, but it's turning your microphone up. It's really weird.
What were you trying to turn my computer up for?
It wasn't on.
Oh, okay. That was, dude,
that was weird.
We were both kind of like, uh-oh.
What's happening?
Try turning my computer up again.
Trucky, ducky, quack, quack.
But wait, hold on. What about now?
Now you're perfect.
There we go.
Trucky, ducky, quack, quack.
Hey, who am I?
Carmichael Dave.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll mock the mocks this time. Yahoo Sports, we get in there as well. Is there a trade by the Sacramento Kings in this mock draft? And is it a trade for a player you would never, ever expect them to trade for? We'll tell you when we get back.
Nobody.
FN.
Check the game. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sports 1140, KHTK.
Sort of a weird face, kind of unattractive.
Yeah! It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
Come on. Let's wake up.
With Jason Ross.
He is wise.
The only local sports talk show that helps you get through your morning commute. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sports 1140 KHTK.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday. That means, well, any day. It's going to be 3 for Madness at 7:13. Coming up later in the program, Jason Ross, Friday Fun and Games at 8:27. It's been weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I also forgot my belt this morning. And these are shorts I have to wear a belt with. But in the morning, I don't know why. In the morning, I'm like puffy or something. The shorts fit fine.
Okay.
And then as the day goes on,
You're settling.
I'm settling, and they start to fall down. And that's a HR nightmare right there.
Yeah.
If you were walking down the hall at work and your shorts fell to your ankles because you didn't wear a belt and you were wearing underwear, and there was like maybe 10 coworkers that it was a busy day, do you think that's an HR violation?
It depends. Could be a promotion.
I gotta ask our HR person that. Like, what if that happened? If it was an accident, could somebody actually? It's today's day and age. I guess they could. Thankfully, it's never happened before. You ever lose your pants randomly in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randomly.
But not in public, right?
I don't think so.
Not lose your pants, but they just fall down.
Sure.
That happened to me at Arco Arena once. I was coming down it was the same situation. I forgot my belt. And I was coming down the flight of stairs, and I had my hands full with popcorn, right? So, yeah, I had all these concessions. I was coming back down. My wife and kids were there. And I was doing the thing where I was trying to elongate my hips because I knew
you were doing a nice wiggle.
And, dude, I don't know how I did it without spilling everything, but they started to fall, and in one fell swoop, thank God I was wearing a longer shirt, I grabbed I shifted the concessions into one hand like a waiter. I grabbed my shorts to keep them from hitting my ankles and passing down too low. And I was close enough to Melissa where I was like, hey, help. And she came up and grabbed everything. But, Section 103 almost got a vertical smile.
Yeah.
So,
how about that?
Anyways, let's do the mocks. Today it is Yahoo Sports.
Yeah.
Yahoo!
And Adam Silver is fresh off of his press conference last night that we were replaying. And he's bringing the Orlando Magic to the podium.
With the first pick, the Orlando Magic select
Jabari Smith.
Boring.
Come on.
Absolutely boring.
Mock this up.
If you base everything on the mocks, Jabari Smith is now like the heavy favorite to go number one. Doesn't it seem like every mock pretty much has Jabari Smith?
Nowhere past 2, but almost all the time 1.
Almost all the time 1.
Outside of the Mars mock, I think he's number 1 on every mock draft.
The Mars mock is the only one with Holmgren.
Where is he in the Mars mock?
He's number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, he's plummeted.
Orlando's choice, they say, appears to be between Smith and Holmgren, 2 bigs with length. Hey, now he's comfortable playing out on the perimeter. This could impact the way in which the Magic front office approaches Mo Bamba's free agency. He did show flashes of potential, Mo did, but also struggles with injuries. Mo Bamba, future king. Telling you.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Telling you. Mo Bamba, future king. That's what I'm thinking. Oklahoma City is itching to make their pick. Sam Presti's going crazy. Yeah, it's clothes. It's polyester. Number 2.
with the second pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder select
Chet Holmgren.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. I didn't see that one coming.
I think that's how it's going to go, by the way. I do think it's going to be Jabari and Chet Holmgren.
You would.
Alexei Pokusevsky. Poku is their current big right now. Has a lot of potential. Not sure how those mesh because Holmgren's a 4.5. Poku's more of a 4.3. I think Holmgren's a 5.
Also, their combined weight, 106 pounds.
Seriously, dude.
After eating.
That's a lot of, but again, a Holmgren, Gilgeous-Alexander, and what am I forgetting?
Giddey.
Josh Giddey. That's an interesting.
Sounds like a lottery team again.
Yeah,
One more time,
It
maybe.
does.
One more time.
Until they acquire
Bronny
and Giannis for all their picks.
And LeBron.
Bronnis.
Sam Presti offers all of his picks and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to Milwaukee for Giannis.
No.
There's nothing that they could.
They got their ring.
They got their ring. Right?
Wow.
Do it.
Maybe Giannis
Blow up the Bucks?
Giannis is unhappy, I've heard.
Have you?
He seems like the most unhappy guy ever.
I can tell.
Yeah.
So,
Giannis, always pouting.
have you seen the commercial? It's
Where
a
they're
Google
taking his picture?
Yeah. You know the commercial I'm talking about?
doing?
Okay, what he goes, what are you doing?
Taking
And
our
he goes, I'm
picture?
taking a picture. Is that okay? Okay, you know where I'm at, right? I think when Giannis says back to the dude, he goes, yeah, sure, go ahead. And the look he gives him, it's almost a flirtatious look. Go back and watch the commercial again. I'm here for that. But it's almost like a flirty look, and I'm wondering, here's why I'm obsessed with it. I'm wondering if they had not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm wondering if they had a stand-in because they're never in the same shot. I'm wondering if they had a stand-in for Giannis's part that was filmed in another location, and maybe the stand-in was somebody else.
Why do you think about this
I
stuff?
just watch the commercial next time. I'll show you during the break.
Yeah,
And
the
you
break's over. Adam
tell me
Silver's at the podium.
Number 3. Giannis is flirting.
With the third pick, the Houston Rockets select
Paulo Banchero.
Oh, come on!
Oh, wow. So this has gone exactly like we thought.
Chalk.
Give me drama.
Paulo Banchero teaming up with Alperen Şengün. Here we go.
Sounds like a lottery team.
You know what? One of my favorite things about listening to, I've listened to enough podcasts and enough, read enough stuff.
Done your own research.
The amount of people that think that Paulo Banchero is a foreign player is mind-boggling to me. And obviously, okay, so he has a name that is not Jim Smith.
He's from Seattle.
He's from Seattle.
That's foreign.
I mean, it is kind of another world.
Like, if you live in Alabama, Seattle's for sure a foreign country.
There are real-life draft people, bloggy, TV, that think Paulo Banchero is, as actually like a foreign player coming in. It's like,
love it.
No, he's from Seattle. Anyways, okay. So before the break, I told you.
You did. This is a big tease.
This is Sacramento Kings in this mock draft. Not only is there a trade, but is there a trade for somebody you would not even think about? Adam Silver will tell you.
with the fourth pick, the Sacramento Kings select.
Yeah, there's no trade. Jaden Ivey, Purdue. That's who they grabbed.
Oh.
Yeah,
Jaden Ivey, Purdue? He's Will's kid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jaden Ivey, Purdue. Yeah, there was no trade. I was just the question was, would there be? And the answer is no.
No.
It was kind of a mean tease on my part, but because this whole thing it's chalkity chalk. Now you could argue that Jaden Ivey isn't. I don't know if there's a chalk for the Kings at 4. We've seen Jaden Ivey. We've seen Keegan Murray.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen. I've seen Dyson Daniels a couple of times.
Did AJ Griffin fall to 4 and 1?
AJ Griffin or rose to 4. Yeah,
Rose
but
to
I
4,
get your point. Yeah, so I think Ivy has now become the consensus favorite, and I agree with it. I do think the Kings will take Ivy at 4 if they have the pick. And Keegan Murray was a name mentioned early on. I think he's probably right behind him. And then you get to Shaedon Sharpe. I think Shaedon Sharpe's kind of fallen a little bit.
This is interesting. Can I give you their breakdown of why they chose Jaden Ivey, they being Yahoo? This is the point in the draft where things could get really interesting.
They say, Jay, that the NBA draft starts at the number 4 pick.
They always say that.
Yeah.
It feels safe to assume that the Kings didn't pull off the deadline day trade headlined by Domantas Sabonis to continue treading water in the draft lottery. For that reason, it would not come as a surprise if this pick was used in an attempt to add a more established player to the roster. If the Kings hold on to the pick, Ivy may not only be the best player available from a talent standpoint, but also with regard to being the one best equipped to help the team immediately, which is interesting. New head coach Mike Brown would have a bit of a logjam to deal with on the perimeter in this scenario, but Ivey's ability to play either guard spot would help matters.
I think this is where the media, especially the national media, and I understand why they're going here. Monty McNair, last year of his contract, everybody now it is now assumed, much like the Kings didn't draft Luka Doncic because Vlade didn't like his dad. Like, these things are in lore now and accepted, and they're not true. They didn't trade DeMontis Sabonis to win now. Nobody ever said that. It's never been a thing. This is a completely media concocted, and some of the best conspiracies are based in a little bit of logic. You'd think, oh, he's a couple years old. That was never a thing. The thing was always, we'd like to win now. Of course we
did it with a hope that it got in a plan.
But we're not going to cut corners.
Right.
And
it didn't compromise their future.
No. Not at all. And the whole idea that Monty's going to make some crazy deal because he's on the last year of his contract, no, he's not, because he's going to have to work other places at some point, even if he got fired by the Kings. It's not going to happen. Also, the fact that in the lottery, the higher you pick, that's the one opportunity a team like the Kings can have to get a superstar. I will tell you for a fact, they're not trading this pick unless the return blows you away. And you may disagree with what blows you away. For example, if Atlanta offered their first and John Collins, that may not blow some people away.
That doesn't blow me away.
It doesn't blow you away. It might blow Monty away, but it would have to be something like that. They are dead set on making this pick, and it's going to be for best player available, which is why I think. Now, Keegan Murray to them might be the best player available. Yeah. I don't think he is.
Well, and it's different to your point. One, I think it's a good draft, but two, to pick at 4 best player available is different than picking at 9 or 12.
Correct.
Now, they got good picks at 9 and 12. But
it's not 4.
Yeah, in what seems to be a good draft.
Yes. And as he has shown by picking, he came into this team, best player was De'Aaron Fox. He's picked 2 guards so far, arguably 2 point guards. It's not going to matter what position this guy plays. If they think Ivey is their guy, if they think they are 100.
Absolutely.
It does not matter to them that they will then have 3 point guard. It doesn't matter. Just like it didn't last year, things will shake out. Just like things will shake out on the interest rate fronts. Whether you need to refinance right now because you got a ton of credit card debt, or you want some cash out to start a business, or I don't know, you know what you need. Go to my guy Shelby at RefinanceWithShelby.com. It's RefinanceWithShelby.com. Shelby, Peter, and the whole gang over there. They're local. They're live. They want to do what's right for you. Why? Because they don't just want your business. They want your business in a few years. They want your business next time you buy a house. They want your friend's business. They want the business from your next door neighbor. It's not a one and done situation. Seriously, think about this. This is the point I always try to drive home with Shelby. If you get those things in the mail or somebody calls you up or whatever it may be, and you're going to one of those big mortgage companies, and by the way, United Wholesale Lending is a huge mortgage company. These guys are local. You're going to someplace in Ohio, Florida, Texas, Southern California. They don't care about you down the road. It's one and done. It's wham, bam, thank you, homeowner. That's what it is, buddy. But with Shelby, they want that repeat business because they live amongst you. They are your neighbors. Their kids go to school with your kids, blah, blah, blah. And they know everybody in the market. They've been doing this for a long time. Whether it's a purchase, whether it's a refinance, go to Shelby at RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051, BRN number 0186434. And listen, I don't know where to go from here. I had something, and then I think Jaden Ivey's the guy. I think Jaden Ivey is the guy. Things could change, but I think Jaden Ivey's the guy.
Nice transition.
Thank you. There's a great transition. Well, because we don't have a break here, so I wanted to transition into threefer, and I should have just called for the sounder.
You should have.
But I really wanted to find the transition.
Would it be a bad radio guy?
I couldn't do it on the fly. E1. Three for
Shelby could have.
Yeah, he probably could have. Three for Madness right now.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
Hello, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, Jason.
3 for Madness. Question 1.
If you were to describe the career of Ryan Fitzpatrick to someone who never saw him play, how would you explain it?
Eccentric. Ryan Fitzpatrick at time. Remember the year he came out? What was it? Tampa Bay, right? It was Tampa Bay just a couple years ago.
5-0 or something.
Yeah, something like that. He was showing up looking like you said, like a diet Conor McGregor, swagging it around like
flea market Conor.
And and then 5 games later, it's like, okay, well, Is Jameis Winston okay? Like, what can we do here? Was Josh Johnson hanging around?
For his 20
49ers legend.
Yes. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'm a big fan of his. I think he was not the best quarterback ever. He wasn't. He was arguably not above average. He made the most of his career. He made a ton of money. Yeah. He was a consummate locker room guy, and he was a fun character. I don't think we've seen the last of him, whether he's hosting a game show or doing color commentary. Harvard grad, Ryan Fitzpatrick, everybody.
I would say to someone that had never seen him play, I said, you know that guy, probably saw a video one time of that guy, Joe Namath. Not the I want to kiss.
Right.
But like that guy won a Super Bowl. Right. That guy. Right. Let me see. You've probably seen Phil Simms on TV. Yeah. Maybe even Troy Aikman making all this money. Yep. Then maybe a Kurt Warner movie.
Yep.
Let me see who else. Steve Young. Tony Romo.
Yep.
He has more passing yards than all those guys.
Yep.
And never really had a true starting job. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Never was on a Pro Bowl team. Just
like he has more yards. Bradshaw. All those guys. Crazy. But good for him. Nice, productive career.
1 trillion billion %. Number 2.
Question 2.
Steve Prefontaine's friend Phil Knight reportedly is very interested in buying the Portland Trail Blazers. This be good or bad for the NBA?
Okay.
How could it be bad?
Well, I'll tell you why it could be bad for the NBA.
Because they'd have different uniforms every game.
Feels bad. Okay, let's be clear here. This would be the fact that Jody Allen and the Blazers have not already accepted the deal is silly to me.
Right.
Phil Knight's
matter of time.
He's going to be the next owner. Here's the
84 years old.
Phil Knight is Oregon sports. And I'm not just talking about the college. That's where Nike is based in Beaverton. This would be wonderful for the Blazers. He would come in, I want to say, as the second richest NBA owner behind Steve Ballmer, maybe third.
Is he worth $8 billion?
No, he's worth $30 billion.
Oh, I was close.
I want to say, for example, Vivek is worth. They range it anywhere between $2 and $5 billion. Let's see, what's a name? Mickey Arison, $6.8 billion, which, by the way, is a lot of money. But I always thought it was more. It's not that much.
Meh.
So you're coming
at 30?
30. That's number 1. Number 2, the reason why it would be it's not going to be terrible for the NBA, but it's not great for the rest of the NBA.
Why?
Because the shoe companies run the league, and Phil Knight runs the biggest shoe company.
Yeah.
The amount of remember when we talked a while back about how the Warriors were getting a huge advantage off court because of all the Silicon Valley investors and investments they could offer folks, and guys like Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala really took advantage of it. There was nothing illegal. It's just one of those like gray areas. Phil Knight and his army of people that have their tentacles not just in the NBA, their tentacles into high schools and colleges. Now the off-court incentives. And really, Adam Silver, the biggest problem with Phil Knight buying the Blazers is that Adam Silver and friends are going to have to rewrite some things to prevent Phil Knight from leveraging his company in Nike to leverage free agents coming to Portland. For example, Jason. I own the Blazers. I'm Phil Knight. You are top flight free agents.
Okay.
You're Giannis Antetokounmpo, free agents. I don't know. And Jay is the owner of the Lakers and somebody on the Jazz. And then
I gotta own the Lakers.
I'm just trying to think of a big money team.
Kings.
You're looking at and we're all offering you max deals.
All of us.
Everyone's offering you a max deal. But wait. Number 1, there's no state tax in Oregon, I believe. That's a thing.
Yeah,
that's correct.
That is true, factually.
You also can't pump your own gas.
Also correct.
But I'll tell you what. You sign with us. In addition to you making more money because there's no state tax, I'm going to give you a max deal. I'm also going to give you a 10-year, $1 billion Nike deal. There's no other team that can compete with that. There's no other team that has their own shoe company, which, by the way, is something that should probably happen eventually. And do not underestimate the power of the shoe companies in the NBA. So, yeah, it's great for the Blazers. They should have already accepted the deal. It's not great for the rest of the NBA.
You buy the Kings?
I would pick Philip Knight up from Beaverton, and I would give him a shoulder horsey ride.
We could knight him out in front of the Golden One Center.
The owner of the Kings is a knight. Hello. Anyways, Jason?
I have nothing after that.
Number 3.
Question 3.
Last night, the Warriors and Celtics combined for 40 three-pointers in an NBA Finals game, which is a new record. Will that record be broken before the series comes to an end?
That's a good question.
Hey, thanks.
40 is a lot.
That's a lot of threes.
But they both shoot a ton of threes, and they're both pretty good at it.
I'm going to say no. And the reason I'm going to say no is only because I think both teams are relatively good at defensive adjustments. I think game 1 is where you're going to have the loosest game, and you saw that with alternating quarters and victory and 40 points. I think they're not going to shut down the threes, but I do think on both sides they're going to make some defensive adjustments and tighten the screws a little bit.
And I would say, to credit both teams, they were good. They were made threes. I mean, what Boston did in the fourth was incredible.
A lot of open looks for Boston in the fourth, too.
So, I mean, I think it'll, one, be defended better, and also just numbers game, you miss more threes. Like, it was a bad three-point shooting night. Yeah. That's going to happen to each of these teams at some point in the series. They're going to push this, though. It's going to be really close. But the fact that it was 21-19, I mean, they hit that. Both hit big numbers, but I'll say no.
51.2% shooting from behind the arc for the Celtics, which was more than their field goal shooting overall.
Crazy.
42.2% from behind the arc, which, by the way, is really good. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with shooting 42.5% from behind the arc for the Warriors. They shot 44.3%. But a lot of that was fourth quarter.
Yeah.
All right, we will take a break. Let's recap a wild game one. We'll tell you about that in a second. In the meantime, I want to tell you about my friends at Open Door. They don't call it closed door for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Okay. They don't call it closed door for a reason. It opens doors. Opens doors for you and how you're going to deal with your house. Now, I don't plan on selling my house anytime soon. I truly don't. But I do know the exact price I could get for my home from Open Door. Except, check it out. I don't have to go through the realtor thing. I don't have to go through staging my house. I don't have to go through weeks of having strangers. Think about that. How weird is that? Where you have to go down the street to get a malted, or whatever people do these days. Malted. Are there even malteds? Yeah, go down the street to do whatever while Realtor Fred and a bunch of strangers roll through your house. How about an open house? Like you're leaving your house for the day so that groups of people can walk through and poke and prod and judge. I don't want any part of that. So do what hundreds of thousands of people have already done. Go to opendoor.com, enter your address, tell them a little about your house, and within minutes, you've got a real competitive offer. Skip all the other stuff. Go to opendoor.com/my offer. Get a competitive all cash offer at opendoor.com/my offer. Eligibility varies on this offer. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc., license 02061130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets. Game one. We'll tell you when we get back why Boston has already, we'll tell you when we get back if Boston has already locked down a sweep of this series. We'll answer that question next.
Keep the thumbs busy.
Do you Twitter?
Follow us on Twitter at Sports1140 KHTK. It's the Carmichael Dave Show
with Jason Ross.
Sports 1140 KHTK.
Looney dribbles it back to Curry, chased by Smart, down the lane, one-hand floater, swish. Quickly to midcourt to Poole. Poole waits for Draymond, screen set, Poole left alone and hits a three straight on. Leads Derek White, attacks baseline, Derek White to the corner. Pritchard closed down by Wiggins, kick out Horford, he's open for three, got it!
Stomp him, getting right back in this puppy. You ain't going too fast yet, Golden State.
Here is Tatum down the right side, taking Wiggins with him, moves to the baseline, Horford long two, got it! And tonight the Celtics on the road in the NBA Finals score 40 points in the fourth quarter and come from 15 down to score a stunning double-digit historic win in game number one. The final score, Boston 120, Golden State 108.
Of all the Celtics players to appear in game one, of which there were 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. How many of those 14 players made their NBA Finals debut?
All 14.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All 14 made their NBA debut, NBA Finals debut.
Yeah.
Also, first NBA Finals game to be played in San Francisco.
Yes.
Just giving you some notes here. When Klay Thompson hit his second three-pointer of the night, he ended up with 3. He passed LeBron James for the second most 3 in playoff history. James has 432. Thompson now has 434. He trails only Steph Curry, who is 103 three-pointers ahead of
Felt
him.
like he had 103 in the first quarter.
Steph Curry. And that's the thing. At the end of the first quarter, it was 32-28 Golden State.
Yeah.
And that's when I tweeted out the tweet that got so many in their feelings was about how it was tough to see a path for the Warriors here. The Celtics were down 4, but Steph Curry's not – he literally set a record in the first quarter, and they had a 4-point lead. And Boston – throughout the playoffs just seems to be they're like the boxer that just does all body blows for the first 8 rounds and ties you up and leans on you into the ropes until by the later championship rounds you're tired out, your arms are hurting, and that's when they go for the headshots, and that's what they did last night.
Yeah, it was impressive to be that close. I mean, Steph was doing just amazing things, eye-popping stuff, what he was going. And Boston lost him a couple times, some defensive breakdowns. But the fact that they were close, and really Boston was hitting a bunch of threes in the same quarter, it's just they were doing it with all the guys instead of one. But we've always known this. When Steph gets going, it's louder there. Like, the fans just love him.
Yes.
And the anticipation of him being open and then shooting and some of the plays he made. But I would say after that, wasn't he 5 for 5 from 3? I think he ended 7 of 14.
I think so.
Still a good night. Great night.
Yeah, 7 of 14.
But, I mean, he certainly cooled off after that first quarter. But that was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch Klay back in the finals as well. Not a wonderful game for him, but a lot of it was defensive end for him. Draymond Green was atrocious. The defense was there. But 2 of 12.
I thought Jordan Poole was really bad.
Jordan Poole was bad. I also don't need Draymond Green taking 4 3-pointers if I'm Steve Kerr.
Yeah, but it felt like they were the right ones.
I was going to say to you, yes, I think at least 2 of those were shot clock winding down.
Yeah.
One of them I know was wide open. I get it. But 4 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, 11 boards, 3 turnovers. Not less. And 0 of 3 from the line, especially. And he had 2 big misses late. The Warriors were up either, I can't remember, were they up 17 or 14? Somewhere in there was their biggest lead.
Yeah, it was late third that they got that lead. And that, to me, was the most impressive. Like, the first quarter blitz that the Celtics handled by Curry, but the second comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like there was a basket or 2 away from, like, oh, man. 1-0 Warriors, win by 17. Still could have a series, but, like, okay. And Jaylen Brown in the early fourth quarter brought them back by himself, and then just those threes were just everybody. White hit a bunch of difficult ones. Horford, 17-0 run in the fourth quarter. That was crazy.
At one point, it was 92-78 Golden State. 6.3 seconds in the third quarter, Andre Iguodala hit a 3 from Jordan Poole. was 6, basically end of the third quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, they got 2 free throws, I think, at the end of the quarter.
Yeah. Golden State had a 94.7% win probability. And then it just absolutely exploded. That was...
It didn't feel like that was a Warrior game. Like what the Warriors do to teams. Like the Warrior run is different than most other teams run, and Boston did it to them.
And, you know, the Warrior fan... I'm not rooting against the Warriors. Either team wins. There's a really good story behind it. But I'm not going to lie. I did get a little bit of partisan pleasure when the Warrior fans in the third quarter broke out with that Warriors chant, like, the early guy. Like, that chant should be reserved for end of the fourth, game in hand, and now that's what you're sending them into the locker room with. There were a lot of old takes exposed over this game, and I think people forgot this Boston Celtics team is incredibly resilient. This is the team that lost Marcus Smart to what looked like a horrific injury and still came back and got a win. They've had issues with Robert Williams the whole playoffs, who's a huge cog for them. You had Jason Tatum going 3 for 12 in this game. They're just so well-rounded and so resilient.
Yeah, and then obviously hit shots at an amazing clip in that fourth quarter. But I was just so happy at how entertaining the game was, how well played it was, the good back and forth, the shot making. And there were defensive breakdowns, but there were other times where the defense was good, just the shot. I mean, a couple moves that Steph made, the behind the back gets into the key, and then the floater, high arcing floater, finger rolls.
Marcus Smart had a behind the back too when he was running for a layup.
Oh yeah, I mean there was really good playmaking in this game.
Al Horford made his NBA Finals debut, had 6 3-pointers. That's the most for a player in his NBA Finals debut, and his 26 points. It makes him the second oldest player to score at least 25 points in his Finals debut, behind a guy who did it last year, Chris Paul, 32 points at age 36. Horford turns 36 today.
Oh, happy birthday,
Happy
Al.
birthday, Al Horford. Steph Curry, 21 points in the first quarter, the most points by a player in the first quarter of an NBA Finals game over the last 50 years. Final one for you. I thought this was great. Steph Curry, 6 3-pointers in the first quarter, the most threes by a player in any quarter of an NBA Finals game. The previous record was 5, shared by Steph Curry, Ray Allen, and Kenny Smith.
Oh, wow.
Kenny Smith.
How about that? When they didn't take threes back then.
Right.
What I was thinking the way the game started and the way Steph started was when we talked to Sam yesterday and asked Sam about, do you think Steph really even cares that he doesn't have this Finals MVP? He's like, you know what? Secretly, I think he does. And it was almost like Steph's coming out to like, I'm going to get ahead of this and be the leader. We're going to win game 1. I'm going to have a great game, and you're going to have to prove why I'm not the MVP of the Finals as opposed to I'm just going to just take it. And he got off to such an amazing start, and the crowd was into it. But Boston hung close the whole game, and then that fourth quarter blitz was incredible.
Someone's also going to have to explain win probability to me, too, because it's so weird. For the first part, up until really about 8 minutes left in the first. So, like, for example, Boston was up 9-8, and they had a 60% chance of winning. Golden State was up 10-9. Boston had a 57.7% chance of winning. Like, almost through the entire first half of the first quarter, even when Golden State had the lead, the Celtics were still when they were up 6-5. Celtics had a 63% chance. So the Boston was. I don't understand that. What I do understand is that I'm going to go back to the Joseph Benavidez analogy. It's better to get your butt kicked over 5 rounds than to just get a knockout. Because when you get knocked out, what are you going to teach yourself after? Well, we're not going to get knocked out. Everyone knows that. I don't know, and we're going to talk about this more from the Warriors' perspective in the next segment.
Yeah.
But I'll skip ahead. I don't know what does Steve Kerr tell them?
What I thought one of the interesting points he, I think, purposely made post game. Draymond did too. It stood out most from those two, where their reference to me, Dave, was, well, Boston got crazy hot in the fourth. Factual, yes.
Yeah.
But why? Like, to me, like, it's almost like they didn't want to lay their cards out, like almost just putting it, well, It's a make or miss league. They made all their shots.
Yes.
It'll be different in game 2. It could be.
Yes.
But you better be. You can't be as cavalier as that, and that might be what they're showing us.
Right.
Maybe today is this brutal film session and yelling, and I don't know. I don't know how the Warriors do things internally, but I wouldn't be as nonchalant about like, well, Boston just made a ton of threes. Again, factually, they did, but they were with you all game long.
We have breaking news right now from the J. Morris.
2 stories, back to back.
2 stories breaking news.
I know of one.
Yeah, I don't know of either.
Okay.
So this is going to be very interesting. Do we have the sounder?
When it breaks, we have it first.
Yeah.
KHTK breaking news.
This one from the Jason Ross update desk.
Oh, the J.
Trucky ducky quack quack.
Mirrored in mediocrity. Philadelphia Phillies have relieved Joe Girardi of his duties as manager.
Oh, the Giants got Joe Girardi fired.
Yes.
Is Joe Girardi done in baseball as we know it?
And then we have some breaking news on the local level.
Breaking news. Oh, let's get the sports horse out. Okay.
7-time Pro Bowler and current 49ers center Alex Mack officially announced his retirement after 13 seasons in the NFL. Of course, as you know, the 49ers have been very active in the offseason. I'm sure finding a replacement. No big deal.
No big deal. What an offseason for the 49ers. Now, here's the thing. I've heard this before. There's been rumors, and he's retiring, but this could also be a contract thing. I've heard. Yes. I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if 1, 2, 3 games into next year, maybe 4, all of a sudden is my computer up?
Yep.
It is up.
Oh my God, you were the corniest.
Thank you.
No, I like that.
Thank you, Jason.
Of course you do.
I did a whole setup, went around the block, because if Alex decides to come back next year, every Niners blog's going to be saying, return to the Mac. Oh my God. Do we have to break?
Yeah, we got to break.
Okay.
This slaps.
It slaps.
Little blapper, Jason?
It's a what?
A blapper?
A blapper?
Bangs and
Sounds
slaps.
like a toilet thing. A blapper? It slaps. Do you think the kids are going to start saying this, Will Smith's? Yes, I try. Hey, it's Friday Fun Day.
I'm ready to hit the button.
When we get back, let's go into the Warriors' locker room. And,
Are they still there?
Yeah, they're still there right now. See what they do differently for game 2. We'll continue that conversation. We'll react.
Exactly what I saw.
Kendrick Perkins do a
Quick change.
We'll do that next.
Check out the Golf to Go hour The Carmichael Dave Show. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sports 1140 KHTK.
So you're Steve Kerr. Congratulations. What are you telling the team? You know, I know we talked about that a little bit, but hey, guard more. Celtics are they're such a load. They're just such a physical load. And you have guys, Jason Tatum comes off as like a finesse guy. He's just so good, so skilled. Not that the other guys aren't. But you just have those bangers down low. Marcus Smart's all in your face. They had a mic'd up Marcus Smart, and I'll say this again.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was good audio.
I would say this again, Adam Silver in the NBA. I know you've lost some money to the whole China thing and all that. You're always looking for NBA is very poor. NBA is not making any money. Here's a way to help out. Charge me an extra. I don't know. I'd pay an extra $100 a year. NBA League Pass, or give me a special channel. Give me mic'd up players every game, unfiltered, uncensored. I can just switch, and I can watch the game flow with no announcers, and I can switch to the mic'd up players on both sides, on one side or the other. I would listen to that all day. I know the players would never agree to it, but maybe if that particular, like let's say Marcus Smart, we'll just use him for an example because it was yesterday. Let's say Marcus Smart agreed to be mic'd up for every game. And it's on him. It's his responsibility if he says something, terrible or offensive or whatever. But we're not going to care about bad words, for example.
That'd be great.
Give Marcus Smart an extra $5 million a year or whatever it is. Whatever your revenue is, give him half of it. Give the players half. Let him make a little bit more money to be mic'd up. I could listen to it all day, but it really underscores Jason. Not that the Warriors don't have, Draymond Green is perennially an all defensive guy. But that Celtics defense is just so stifling.
Yeah, and even with all that, the Warriors got shots that they wanted, did some good things, had the lead a lot of the game. I think one of the areas that last night is I got to figure out if it's just last night, a one-game situation, or if it's more. But one thing I would say if I'm Coach Kerr or worry about is, still in their every game recipe and their starters, the guys that play the bulk of the minutes. You're likely not getting a ton of scoring from Looney and from Draymond. Now, Draymond could still completely control the game with scoring
100%.
6 points. He didn't do that yesterday.
No.
And Looney doesn't score a ton, and that's okay. But I always felt like their bench can win them games. And I didn't think Porter was good. Poole was awful. Iguodala was back, but, he's not a big scorer. Where I look at Boston and their starters, you probably have a same that's not going to give you a bunch of scoring in Williams.
Sure.
But their best scorer is Tatum, who was fourth in scoring of their starters.
3 of 12.
So you got big numbers from Horford. Their first guy off the bench, Derek White, was over 20.
Mm-hmm.
They just had more people that hit him with numbers. Like Steph was terrific. They didn't have enough other help. I thought Wiggins was pretty good. But you can't have a bunch of pretty good. Boston had a lot of guys that played well.
Al Horford's getting, and rightfully so, a ton of press. It's a wonderful story. Derek White
was awesome.
And has been awesome for him. He really has been a huge cog for those guys. I also found myself wondering, I know it's game 1 of the finals, and we don't know health-wise where it's at, but I found myself wondering, is Gary Payton ready?
He was cleared and said they were going to go, or available. Iguodala was available. All the guys that were questionable were cleared.
If you told me right now that the Warriors ended up winning this series, one of the first things I would think about is I wonder if they got Peyton in there, because I could see Gary Payton being, listen, he's not Steph Curry or any of those guys, but he's that, it's almost like that Derek White thing where you're the unexpected boon to the bench. And I could see, remember Gary Payton was starting at one point in this postseason. Yeah. I could absolutely see him coming in and making a difference for this team. But again, I don't know health-wise where it's at. You mentioned Otto Porter. Otto Porter was, other than Curry, probably the most opportunistic guy on the team. 24 minutes, he was 4 of 5. He had 4 boards. He had 2 steals and some fantastic defense.
Yeah. Now he was, again, try to put value sometimes or diminish plus minus.
And it was minus 18. I saw that too.
He was in there when the Celtics go on their crazy run, but I didn't look at it as he was the problem.
I couldn't see that.
Yeah.
I can't see that with what he was in there. He was so active in the passing lanes. He was really disruptive.
Yeah, I think the Warriors will continue to maintain like, hey, look, Boston was just crazy hot.
Yeah.
And I think numbers would suggest that they won't hit the same volume of threes, but I just felt like Boston got what they like. Tatum's going to have a game where he scores 35, right? So like that didn't happen yesterday and Boston won.
No.
And there'll be a game where I'm sure Clay is better and maybe Poole is better and Steph could even be better.
Yeah.
But you just can't rely on that. I mean, I think these are really even teams, and Boston may actually have a little bit more depth to them or more ways they could beat you. I think the Warriors could be really spectacular offensively, but Boston's really good offensively too.
And that's the thing. I think that the Warriors have to play around 95 to 100% of their capability to win this series.
Which they can.
Which they absolutely can. I think Boston could win this series playing at about 85 to 90%.
Which would suggest they're the better team,
if
you think that.
I think when both teams are playing maximum, I do think Boston's a better all-around team. I would give Golden State a slighter to moderate edge offensively, but I would just give Boston such a bigger edge defensively.
Yeah, and then the one we wondered, I think they're just statistically, numbers-wise, the biggest advantage was experience.
Yep.
And when the Celtics are down 14 late third, that's where you feel like they're going to hammer this home.
Yep.
The Warriors. And the least experienced team has the 40-point fourth. That's bizarre.
On the road.
Yeah.
On the road in front of that crowd.
And again, a 40-point quarter can happen, but Warriors have to score 38, 32.
Right.
Scored 16.
Yep.
Wow.
And by the way, Golden State had 38 points on Boston's defense. Let's not forget that in the third quarter.
Right.
So they can, and that wasn't Steph Curry's first. That wasn't his first quarter. That was the team's third quarter. So they've shown the ability where they can get through that.
Yeah.
I think this, here's my thing. I think this series comes down to one simple thing. If the Boston Celtics can continue to make open looks, they're going to win the series. And I know that sounds, duh. My point is Boston yesterday, especially in the fourth. There's a mashup somewhere on Twitter I saw of every Boston jump shot in the fourth. They're getting open looks, and I think they're going to continue to get open looks.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't make those open looks, no problem for the Warriors. But if they're able to make those spot-up threes, if they're able to make those runners, they're going to have – I think Boston shooters are going to have better opportunities, more wide-open opportunities than the Warriors shooters. They just have to make them. Sometimes they don't. And I think if the Warriors get a game in this series, you're going to look at Boston's shooting percentage and go, oh, yeah, 38%. That's what it's going to be. And some of that will be the Warriors' defense. I know that listen, you and I kind of joked about it beforehand, but in all seriousness, regardless of situation, so I'm putting on my gloves and helmet here. I'm looking to Mike Brown a little bit here because he is the captain of that defense.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Warriors need to do much different offensively, but they do need to make defensive adjustments. And this is where you're going to look and see. You might have the best defensive coach in the league. It doesn't matter if you don't have the horses or if the other team's better. But
they do have the horses.
They do have horses. Be very interesting to see what Mike Brown institutes for game 2.
Yeah, there was a couple times now, again, this may be down to scheme, but sometimes like when you see a play, it's like, okay, was that a player's choice? There's a couple times I felt Draymond laid off of Al Horford quite a bit.
Yes.
Okay, now Al Horford started to really get cooking. I can see that as a tweak, or I'm not going to leave him as open.
Sure.
Okay, sure. Now, what else can be exposed a part of that? I really feel like game 1 of a series, we all are guilty of overanalyzing and jumping to conclusions on how the whole series will go. But I do feel like it's a feeling out process. And each team kind of went in with their initial game plan. I think more adjustments have to be made by the Warriors because they lost. But, game 2 will look differently. Now, is it a slugfest where it's, I told you yesterday, I think we're going to see a bunch of games over 100. Maybe is that the game that's 96, 91, and it's way more physical? I didn't think they called that many fouls. I enjoyed that. I thought it was physical, but they let him play. All right, is it officiated differently? Is a team in the penalty with 7 minutes left in the quarter, and all of a sudden it's like, Well, yeah, they took the lead because they took 12 free throws in the quarter. So, games will change, but really impressive what Boston did.
We're going to move into the Boston realm in the next segment, but let me ask you this. If you're Draymond Green, you're a vet, you're probably a future Hall of Famer, I think, although that's a discussion, but I do think he will be. You are the emotional leader of this team. Are you looking to do some things maybe in Game 2 or maybe waiting until Game 3, depending on how it goes? Or is Draymond Green, you think, having a thought on his drive home yesterday, like, not dirty, but does Draymond maybe need to Draymond a little bit on these guys, test their mettle? Maybe need to get into somebody's chest, maybe a fracas.
I know where you're going. I feel like the Warriors believe they're the better team. And, hey, look, we've won 3 titles. We're a team that people are talking about being a dynasty. Why would we need to do that? Now, they might need to.
Maybe if they lose Game 2?
Then I could maybe see it. But I feel like they believe that, and they should. They are really good.
I would say this. If I'm a Warriors fan, I really hope, and I got a feeling maybe this is being said in the locker room. I don't know if it's believed. But I hope that I would hope the thought process from the Warriors is nothing we've ever done matters. I don't care that we've won all these titles. I don't care who we are.
Yeah.
This finals is about right now.
Right.
And Boston, like, we're the underdogs. We're the underdogs. I hope that's their attitude.
Yeah, they lost home court advantage now.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to go overboard and say, look, we're in trouble because they had one really bad quarter.
Don't panic.
But one really bad quarter has flipped the dynamics of the series, at least at the moment.
And you're right. And we'll talk about that from the Celtics' point of view next, because it was one really bad quarter for the Warriors, and that was the difference in the game. You're never going to get a bad quarter from American Energy. It's they play all 4 quarters. Great offense, great defense, and wonderful deals for you, including their half-off air conditioning offer. Get ready for the heat, friends. Get ready for that heat. Get what I got a couple weeks ago, all right? Get yourself the $49 air conditioning and furnace tune-up. $49. It was so simple. It was so easy. They rolled out to my house, and by they, I mean my guy Michael. Call him my guy. He's just the guy that showed up, and I was very excited to see him. And right on time. In fact, he was a little bit early and just stayed in his car, texted me, let me know he was. I had arrived. I know our appointment's at 10. It's 9:50. Ready whenever you are. Just wanted you to know I'm here. Of course, I said, hey, come on up right now. Puts on his little booties, came in, tuned everything up, cleared out my filter, let me know about any potential issues. Spoiler alert, there weren't any, but it's good to know. And then that was it. In and out, a couple of hours for $50. I mean, really, $49. Do it yourself. $49 AC tune-up. And by the way, get a free indoor air quality test. Just ask them. American Energy, been here since 1981, right here in the Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. It's AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael, Dave sent you. Quick break here. Let's go into the Celtics locker room. What do you take from this game? We'll talk about it next.
Sports 1140 KHTK. With Jason Ross.
He is wise.
The only local sports talk show that helps you get through your morning commute. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sports 1140 KHTK.
What was your impression of Derek White since he's been here on your team?
Derek White is a baller.
He's a baller.
One name we haven't mentioned yet as we break down game one of the finals. Hey, by the way, 3 weeks from yesterday, the NBA draft.
Yeah.
This time it's RL. Jason Ross Friday Fun Day coming up next.
With a new intro.
8:27, I should say, not next. With a new intro. Wow. I'm excited. Can we get a sneak preview? Probably not. Can we get a sneak preview of the first 1 to 2 seconds?
Sure. Ready?
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm huge fan.
Yes.
This is going to be slappy.
Yeah.
It's the bomb.
All right, one more time for those of you that missed it.
Is there any Billy Ocean in it?
No.
Can't be perfect.
But I can die trying.
Man, I took some time off to go see Top Gun, too. I made a whole schedule about it.
Oh, about the original date?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all right. You can go see it. Are we all going?
I can't.
Are we all going? You can't?
I have to dad.
Take your son.
Can he go?
I would think.
Okay, so just curtain back. We have an opportunity at a local movie theater to go. They put together a really cool thing.
For all our staff.
For all our staff. KHK, KNCI, all the staffs. The staffs.
You know you like your movies.
Yeah, but when it's time for, whatever. So
it's time for Maverick.
Right. So to go see the Top Gun in a few weeks. They're giving us a showing at like 2:00 or something.
Cool.
But they originally scheduled it for the day of the NBA draft. It's not going to work for us, so it's fine. No problem. Thank you to them for doing that. It's very nice of them. It's a very cool team building thing. But I thought the same thing, Jay. Like, there's nowhere in there where we have to be able to bring someone. It's not just
I have to dad.
We're not going to fill the theater. We're not going to fill the theater. There's no chance we're filling the theater.
I'm bringing 10.
Wait, is there with a small child, my son's only 6, is there going to be a take my breath away scene? Catch my drift?
Oh, if anybody has seen Top Gun Maverick, is it okay?
No spoilers.
No, but just can 6-year-olds watch it?
Yeah, can 6-year-olds. That's all.
There's an argument there. Well, okay, as a parent, which would be worse for you? There's a take my breath away scene, which, by the way, had no nudity, just silhouettes.
Tasteful.
Remember that? It was tasteful.
Yeah, when you're young, that's
Tom
all you
Cruise
need.
Looked great.
Amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
Or no scene like that, but 8 pretty good swears.
That's fine.
Okay, so the swears don't bother you as a parent, but the
not in my
potential
not
boobage
from me, but my son hears swear words all the time.
Oh, he does.
Put it this way: pop. Grandpa has a swear show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
pop.
Pop sweared.
Says the bad words sometimes.
Maybe you should go to the movie with Pop.
Oh my God, that'd be great. That'd be effing
Him
great. My brother saw it, and he's Mr. Hyperbole. And he's like, dude, it's better than the original, bro.
Has great ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
Better than the original. Come on. No.
Is the original great?
Doesn't he have Kelly McGillis?
The original is iconic.
Iconic, but is it great?
I mean, listen.
I owned it on VHS as a child.
Yeah, I saw I've seen the original Top Gun.
Are you
probably
nostalgic?
Yeah, it's nostalgia. It's iconic.
You've never seen it. You watch it today. Do you leave going, that's a great movie?
No, because it's it's all 80s-y.
Yeah, but it still could be a great movie.
Listen, it wasn't The Godfather.
No, it's good. It's a good movie.
It's a fun movie, and I think a lot of it had to do with...
I think you need to have seen it.
Top Gun is the Godfather of Fast and the Furious. I think Top Gun... No, listen.
No.
Here's what I'm talking about.
What?
Top Gun,
I need a flow chart.
Yeah,
because a lot of the appeal of Top Gun was the music...
Big
and the
screen,
big sounds of the planes and the whooshes and all that. The script was a supporting character.
Right, and then when he told Goose family is everything, you're totally right.
You had the piano.
This is
and whatever.
terrible.
I'm saying Fast and Furious is very similar.
No, it's not.
Fast and the Furious is the Harley Davidson of movie blockbuster
Fast and the Furious
franchises.
doesn't have Kenny Loggins.
No, it does. But Fast and the Furious is about vroom vroom.
When did you see Dom and Paul Walker's character playing with the boys?
It's about vroom vroom. It's about sexy characters, i.e., volleyball scene.
Where's your volleyball scene in
Fast and the Furious?
What's the equivalent?
I mean, I've only seen like 3.
Jesse
of them.
losing the Honda?
Oh, you're telling me there's no sweaty, shirtless scene in any of the Fast and the Furious? I find that
I've only seen the first one.
Okay, well then you can't speak from a position
Yes,
of authority.
I can because you're only comparing the originals.
I'm saying Top Gun.
This is the worst thing you've ever done.
Top Gun to plane movies is what Fast and the Furious is to car movies. It's for the vroom vroom loud noise crowd that likes the vrooming. And oh, by the way, there's a cool story underneath it.
Speaking of cool
stories. I'm actually, no, you want to move on and we will, but I'm right about this.
Speaking of cool stories, how about them Celtics? From the depths of the Eastern Conference, they rose to the NBA Finals.
Days of Thunder, another example, by the way. Also with Tom Cruise.
Let me out of the car, Cole. I've seen Days of Thunder.
What?
That's my Nicole Kidman impression.
Wait,
Cole,
can we
let
hear
me
that
out of the
again?
car.
Yeah.
Let me out of the car, Cole. Cole, let me out of the car.
Spot on.
It's like,
What is Nicole Kidman in the studio?
Cole. His name's Cole. Let me out of the car.
Was it Cole Trickle?
Yeah.
Let me out of the car, Cole. Yeah.
Man, which one is the real Nicole Kidman? Seriously. I can't tell.
What's the scene where he's got the pool
All right,
cue?
enough. We got to talk about basketball.
Now, we can do this here. We can do this in the hospital. What's it got to be?
Vroom.
Vroom, vroom.
I mean, the Celtics, they won the game. That was awesome.
They watched Top Gun Maverick.
One name we haven't mentioned is Ime Udoka.
Yes.
What we got to give credit to Ime Udoka.
He didn't make any shots.
No. But in that third quarter to fourth quarter break, he said, I think there was
He said, go out there and outscore him 40-16.
Yes. He's not a machine, he's a man.
I guarantee you the speech Ime gave them went a little something like this. Guys, back in my day, I played for this little basketball team in hell.
What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, you think?
We were in Chicago.
We were in Chicago. We were down
winter night.
30-plus points.
That's
and
right.
We came
35.
back and won. Now you guys do it too. And then here you go.
Did he channel the
Yes.
Kings over the Bulls?
Yes.
It's like Peyton Pritchard, you're Sergio Rodriguez.
That's right.
Like, I looked over at Steve Kerr. I'm like, is that Vinny Del Negro, like, slumping on the sidelines, befuddled?
Former King.
Grant
Yes.
Williams, you're John Brockman.
You're John Brock. You're the Brockness monster.
Yeah.
Who was Tyreek?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown, 100%. Tyreek Evans is the godfather of Jaylen Browns.
Daniel Tice, you're Spencer Hawes.
Yeah, right.
Was Spence on that team?
I'm going
I
with it.
think
He was, yeah.
Wasn't he?
Would you fact check Ime Udoka if he started doing all that? Like, Coach,
He
Spencer Hawes
he
was not on that team. Analogy does not work.
What if one of the players actually brought that up, like he was doing that speech? And say, actually, Coach.
No, it's not going to fly.
I think Ime Udoka, that's where a coach's job, to me, a coach is as much a psychologist, if not more, than he is an X's and O's guys. And it is your job as a coach to bring up guys we've been here before. How many times have we been punched in the mouth?
Yeah.
And you know what? And I will say this, not that the Warriors are going to be, this is a time-tested, leather-faced championship team, leather-skinned championship team. But didn't last night kind of seem like when the Warriors were up, 15 or 17 in the third, didn't it seem kind of the equivalent of like, if you're in a fight with somebody and you land a haymaker on their chin and they just kind of like wipe their mouth and like lick the blood and go, that's how I like it.
That's what you got?
And then they keep coming at you and you're like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like that was the Celtics' fourth quarter. They got punched right in the jimmy and they still came back.
Yeah.
And they punched right back.
Yeah. Talking about psychology, I love that. We were talking about Marcus Smart, Wired for Sound earlier. How about the clip they show? Boston finally takes the lead. They've come back. They take the lead. Timeout. Kerr's in that timeout, and it's Wired for Sound. He's like, guys, we're in great shape.
Yeah.
We're down 3. We're at home. Let's, we need stops.
Yep.
Let's score here. And I want to say it was like bang, bang, 2 more threes, and all of a sudden it's 9. I went, you're not in great shape.
You're not in great shape.
Like, wow. Like this just, not only to catch him, just to blow right past him. And then the time and score was growing. The time was shrinking. I'm like, man, the Warriors could come back from 11 with 4 minutes to go, I think. and then it's 14. Like it just kept getting worse. I'm like, this is over. What happened?
So to your point, so I told you about the tweet I made that got killed saying I thought the Celtics would win, and then they won, and then I wanted to go talk my garbage. But I waited until I knew the game, like I was confident.
Like the Al Horford and one, the flex. That's like, okay, it's over.
So I have written down what it said on the clock when I felt comfortable enough to send the tweet, and I'm curious for you, at what point, how much time left until you were actually like, yeah, Celtics are winning this game for sure.
I remember, this is going to be weird, but my wife was in the kitchen, and I was doing play-by-play. She's like, what's going on? So I was doing some of the play-by-play.
Okay.
Like while it's happening.
Oh, that's nice for your wife. You have a professional play-by-play voice in there?
I remember just like Boston's on run,
Right.
and there was a pass. I want to say, I feel like it was Marcus Smart taking a three. I'm like, this is the dagger. No, and he missed it. So I can't. I want to say it was like 9, and it would have taken it to maybe 12.
Yeah.
With I don't know 240 to go.
So that would have been the dagger, but he missed.
In my mind, it was like that's how I was calling it.
Sure.
And he didn't make it. The Warriors didn't score, and they still kept scoring after that to get a 17-0 run. But I'm going to guess your time was about 150.
150.
I don't remember what the score was, but
this is how much respect I have for the Warriors.
11 seconds. Was it when they cleaned the bench?
46 seconds.
Is that when everybody came?
Yeah, that is when I was like, okay. It really,
yeah, because they're capable.
They're so capable of it. I mean, the Celtics would have to fall asleep.
Right, they just would have not scored anymore, and then Curry hits 4 threes in a row. But it's possible.
If I'm Ime Udoka, all I'm doing with this team is, guys, the one thing I want you to take from this team is that these guys are soft. These guys are soft, and they can come out and hit you, and you can take whatever they hit you with. You can take a record-setting performance from Steph Curry, and you can come back. However, you're still the underdogs.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they're going to come back and beat you in the next 3 in a row. I want you to play game 2 like you're down 0-1, but this time let's punch them in the mouth.
Yeah.
Let's punch them in the mouth.
Yeah, suddenly game 2, like Sunday's a really big game, obviously, for the Warriors. But what a statement it would be for the Celtics. Man, if they get out of here 2-0.
The series over.
I would think so.
Series over.
I mean, mathematically, of course not.
No way
the
Warriors beat the Celtics.
Spirit.
The Warriors are not beating the Celtics 4 out of 5, with 3 of those being in Boston.
No, even though Dallas did that to Phoenix.
When I say no way, again, the asterisk is always injuries.
Yeah.
But barring a major injury, no flipping, in my opinion, way.
Okay.
All right, we'll take a very, very quick break. When we come back.
Quick?
Let's say, you know what? Let's just take a 1-minute break.
Okay.
And then when we come back after 60 seconds, so you guys don't even have time to pee. All right, let's take the radio or phone with you. When we come back, we'll finish out our Game 1 observations, and then we'll get to Friday Fun again.
Yeah.
Next.
Sports 1140. KHTK.
Of course, every morning. Nothing can top it.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
I like this guy.
With Jason Ross on Sports 1140.
KHTK.
Twins broadcaster Jim Cott. Very good baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
Referred to the Yankees left-hander Nestor Cortez as Nestor the Molester during a broadcast yesterday. He's 83, and I'm not excusing it. I mean, he's 83.
Nestor?
No, Jim Cott is.
Oh, okay.
It just he was saying how Cortez had become one of his favorite pitchers during a breakout season with
term
New
of
York.
endearment.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's the thing. He was trying to be nice.
Changes everything.
Cortez says, I'm sure you know he didn't really mean it. People make mistakes, but it didn't offend me at all. So I don't have anything more to say to that. I mean, he's been called Nasty Nestor.
Which, by the way, he needs to start the All-Star game. I was telling Jason that earlier
Jay's
today.
new favorite player. He's become a Yankee fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the second time he's made a kind of an offensive comment in the last year.
What I do?
I don't really want to read the other one.
Then don't.
Now I'm curious. Just do it. Just do it on air.
He apologized in October after saying teams when he was talking about Yoan Moncada of the White Sox. I'm just going to read what he said. It's so oogie. He apologized in October after saying teams should try to get, quote, a 40-acre field full of players like Yoan Moncada. Like, Nestor the Molester's, I get how that's cringy. I feel like that's quarter
really,
as bad as the other one.
I don't even.
A tenth as bad?
I don't know.
It's bad.
I mean, on one thing, it's I get he's 83. That doesn't excuse it, but it's like your grandpa walks around and accidentally farts and doesn't notice he does. We've all been there. We've seen that. Old people are old, and they're old, and they do old things and all that. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, come on.
Bob Uecker would never.
You know what? Don't jinx it, dude.
Bob's 89.
Is he really?
Bob's got to be late 80s now.
Yeah.
Bob is pretty old. Bob's an icon.
An incredible icon.
By the way, the spelling bee was yesterday.
Yeah.
Jay Mars.
Yes, sir.
Spell Euchre.
Hey,
U
E
C-K-E-R?
U-E-C-K-E-R is correct.
Yes!
Hey, by the way, I need to stop this.
Uh-oh. You stop.
Oh, I get it.
Do you see what Friday Fun and Games is spelled on?
I think he's
on our bit.
He's stepping on your bit, Jason. Per usual, not paying attention to the rundown.
End of game.
I did not know.
Euchre's not in there.
He's not.
What did you think that meant?
I thought you were just being fun.
Who's you? I didn't put it on there.
I thought that was I thought it was.
How is it spelled?
It's spelled Friday, F-R-Y-D-A-Y, fun, P-H-U-N, and games with a dollar sign for the S. You know what?
I was giving a little hint to you.
Yeah, you didn't put two and two together, huh?
I never tell you what the games are.
I didn't.
You'll probably win. I can't spell for it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
You guys familiar? I think this is a song we're all familiar with.
Yes, Notre Dame.
Yeah. So this is the Notre Dame Victory March Fight song. Are they going to sing? Okay, maybe they're not. There's been a change. Yeah, it's not like that happens all the time. This song has been played at the university's athletic event since 1919. It debuted on campus Easter of 1909. I want one with lyrics, but maybe I'm not going to.
It's worse.
Okay. So there's a line that says, while her loyal sons are marching onward to victory. The lyrics will now read, while her loyal sons and daughters march on to victory, as a hat tip to the ladies of Notre Dame.
Okay.
They started admitting female students back in 1972. Women's varsity athletic teams began competing in 76. It was first. The new version was already put out there, and there you go. So they've God, that is annoying. Sorry, that's super annoying. What else did I have for you before we get to everything from the old Celtics perspective here and wrapping up, because we've already done that. There was one other thing I thought in sports I wanted to run by you. Joe Girardi got fired. Alex's Mac, or the Niners' Alex. The Niners' Alex Mack will not return next year.
Yeah.
He is retired. Also, Frank Gore retired as Niner.
Yes.
Put out
Yes,
there,
I love that.
Kyle Madsen does not believe he's a Hall of Famer. Phil Knight has made an offer to buy the Portland Trailblazers. That's going to be very interesting when that happens. Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Game one.
I got something for you.
I got a response.
So I would say most of the time when I'm watching a sporting event that I feel like everybody's watching, I also have a second screen or phone, Twitter, something like that.
Same.
I did not yesterday. So I didn't get the pulse of, I'm guessing without seeing Twitter in real time. Steph Curry's unreal. He can't miss. What a comeback. I don't know what the tone was, but I feel like the way the postseason has gone, there's been a lot of talk on social media about officiating.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the officiating last night. And I don't know because I didn't get people's instant reaction. Terrible call, great call. I thought they let both sides play. I think there was a lot more fouls that could have been called. I enjoyed it. I thought there was a good flow, not a ton of free throws. But I don't know what – obviously a Warrior fan's probably upset. Maybe a Celtics fan is feeling better. But I thought it was officiated well. But I don't know what the tone was of social media. That's not always right, but they have a good pulse on it.
Well, I will tell you this. I always have multiple screens going because I'm a weirdo. I was on Twitter the whole game. And the very first time I've even thought about the officiating was when you just brought it up.
Well, that's a good sign.
I didn't think about it.
Like, do you remember? I don't know. Like,
didn't read anything about it.
Was there? There wasn't a challenge. Wait.
If there was, it wasn't on Golden State's side because I know late in the game there was a.
I remember Draymond was doing this, but they didn't.
It was very late in the game, and who was it was holding back? It was a Steph Curry layup. And somebody was holding back a Celtics player, kind of fish hooked them, and Curry kind of did the half-hearted challenge, but it would.
Well, I remember he looked back at his guys, one guy's shaking his head like, "Don't do it."
And that was like a minute left.
Yeah.
I don't remember if there was a Celtics challenge. I completely missed it.
I don't think there was.
I don't think there was.
Yeah, I just think it was no tee. It's still physical. There's still like loose ball, where people are diving on the floor. There were physical plays.
No technical fouls.
Yeah.
No flagrant fouls. There were 16 free throws shot by the Celtics, 15 by the Warriors.
That's low.
It's very low.
But I also don't feel egregious. Like, there should have been another 8 calls on this side, or it didn't feel that way to me.
No, I actually thought the officiating. Now that you bring it up, that's a great point. When you don't think about the officiating, that means it was wonderful.
Yeah.
That means it was 100% wonderful.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. Another observation I thought that was funny, and sometimes it's different when you're in the building. We weren't, obviously watching at home. And Mark Jones did a great job. There was a point where the Warriors are, leading and maybe even on a run, and they're going to break, and I think Mark's out with something like, they're going crazy here at Chase. Right. And just the actual camera shot, I don't know, it felt like half what we could see in the screen where people were sitting down. There's like 6 people up going like,
right.
Like, it just didn't feel like it was going crazy to me. Did it feel like it was I felt early when Steph was really cooking, they were getting into it, but I didn't feel like it was the most intense crowd I've seen.
Third quarter, they did the Warriors thing.
Yeah. And obviously the fourth, they're getting.
Yeah.
They can't understand what's happening.
This is a comment we've gotten from a lot of Warriors fans, though, is that the Silicon Valley / San Francisco crowd has completely priced out the real quote fans who are all in the upper deck. Yeah. That it's not Oracle.
What was it yesterday? 700 for standing room only. That's crazy.
For standing room, that's not something normal people can afford, especially for 2, 3, 4 people in the family. So you're right. One of these days, the Warriors are going to be bad again, and it's going to be very interesting to see what that lower bowl looks like because the big rich faces, they're not rolling up to game 43 when the Warriors are bad. We'll take a break. When we come back, Friday fun and games. What will it be? What are we going to do? I don't know, but we'll do it next.
Live and local. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento.
He's the life of the party.
Every time I show up.
His antics in the dorms of UC Davis were legendary.
And he brings his fun and games to the show every Friday.
It's Friday Fun and Games with KHTK's resident party starter, Jason Ross.
Yeah!
That's well done. Well done.
Trademark.
TM. J. Marshall, 2022. All right.
Ready?
Friday Fun and Games.
I think you guys know. It's regarding yesterday, yes, the spelling bee. By the way, did you see the conclusion of the spelling bee?
I did not.
First time ever they had a tiebreaker.
I heard this a timed spell off.
And incredible.
Yes.
Like there's no origin of word. Like it's just go.
Yep.
Spell. It was awesome.
Here's the thing with these kids, too. They're actually probably mostly because of the way they generally study, almost more comfortable doing it that way. Because
they either know it or they don't.
Right.
Just boom, go. All right, here we go. We're going to see how you, as a resident spelling bee champion.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this is unfair.
Yeah, we looked at the Vegas odds.
Yeah.
Once I told Vegas this was happening, you are heavy favorite today.
Interesting. Yeah, that
Jay
was a long
Mars is
time ago.
very nervous.
4th and 6th grade, to be clear.
Yeah.
District, tri-state, or tri-school.
Oh, wow. Some are calling this a 1 versus 16 matchup.
Me winning the school spelling bee in 4th grade, by the way, was 2 weeks after I transferred to Mission Avenue. It was the biggest upset in spelling bee history. Usually it's the 6th graders that win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got in. There was a high moment in my educational career.
Well, it gives you a heavy favorite in this.
Spoonerism was my winning word. Go ahead.
That is not on the list.
I don't even know what it is.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Carmichael Dave as the 1 seed, the heavy favorite. You're going to go first.
I don't like this because all I can do is meet expectations.
Well, we'll see. Antetokounmpo. If you need a pencil and paper for both of you, go ahead. But Antetokounmpo, not Giannis.
Yeah.
Any of the Antetokounmpos.
Antetokounmpo. Are we playing real spelling bee rules where if I say the wrong letter, I can't go back and correct it?
Correct.
Antetokounmpo.
M-O-U-S-E.
NMPO. Antetokounmpo.
Correct.
Thank you.
That's
wow.
Trash.
Yeah.
I'm even more nervous for you, Jay.
I told you I'm going to get blown out in this game.
He was not available for the finals last night because of COVID rules. Woj, not Adrian, the Wojnarowski part.
W-O-J. A-R. N-O-W-S-K-I.
Can I try to steal?
Incorrect, but yes, you can.
W-O-J-N-A-R-O-W-S-K-I.
Correct.
That's what I
Carmichael
said.
Dave.
Yes. It was almost.
Almost. You were very close.
Couch.
And you guys can all play at home.
C-O-W. No.
That was a hard one.
And
That was a hard one.
Carmichael Dave.
Yeah.
You like golf?
I like golf.
Yes.
Tiger.
Game of golf.
Game of golf.
Louis Oosthuizen, but you get Oosthuizen.
O-O-S-T. Oh, Christ. I'm going to get this next part wrong. O-O-S-T. I know it's H-U-I-Z-E-N. I know that. O-O-S-T-U-H-U-I-Z-E-N. That's wrong. Is that right?
I'm
O-O-S-T-U-H-U-I-Z-E-N.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
What you said I know was right.
Yeah.
O-O-S-T-H-U-I-Z-E-N.
There's nothing in between?
Nope.
I will not be attempting to steal, even though you said it.
J. Mars for a chance to tie.
God, I knew it. Sorry.
Indomitian Sue. You just get Indomitian.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Indomitian.
I need you to spell Indomitian right now.
Well, Indomitian Sue will tackle every quarterback out there.
N.
Yes.
G. D-O-M. Oh, wait. Do I just get the Sue part?
Try it.
S-U-H.
Hey.
Okay, that was correct. But we're going to just go, no. Davey, would you like to steal Indomitian?
N-D. O-M.
Okay, incorrect.
Damn it.
N-D-A-M-U-K-O-N-G.
That's a tough one.
Yes.
I knew it was K-O-N-G.
All right, Carmichael Dave, you're next.
Yeah, this is tough.
49ers. You know your Niners. You love the Niners. Kyle Juszczyk.
There's a Z in there somewhere.
Kyle Juszczyk.
J-U-S. C-Y-Z-C-K.
Okay. There's a lot of extra. Okay, it's incorrect. It's J-U-S-Z-C-Z-Y-K. Juszczyk. All right. J. Mars.
Yes, sir.
I'm nervous for you.
God, these are hard. Don't I?
Mike Krzyzewski.
M-I-K-E.
No, Mike Krzyzewski.
I have to do the Krzyzewski part?
Sure.
Okay, I can do this. I watch Duke basketball.
Okay.
C-O-A-C-H space K.
All right, hang on. Hang on. Let me go to the judges. It's allowed.
It's allowed.
Yeah!
It's allowed.
K.
Wow.
He spelled Coach
he did
K.
spell Coach K.
Well done, Jay. That was good.
K-R-Y.
No.
K-R-Z-Y.
Yes.
Z-E-W-S-K-I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Coach
Yeah,
K would have also been accepted,
Still
I guess.
got it wrong.
All right. We're going to switch it up here a little bit. Jay Mars.
Yeah.
Antoine Jameson. The Antoine.
A-N-T-A-W-N.
Yep.
Correct.
He's correct.
Carmichael Dave.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade.
D-W-Y-A-N-E.
Correct.
Yeah.
I thought it was D-Y-W.
No. Well, yeah, that's what he said.
No, he did not. He
What
said
did-
D-W-Y.
It is D-W-Y.
Oh, that's what it is. What did you just say, Jay?
He said
I
D-Y-W.
thought it was D-Y-W. I thought he spelled
No,
it
it is
weird.
what Dave said.
Dwayne is
It's-
how
it's
remember
weird.
it. Yeah, you can look
Yeah.
it up all you want, guy.
Okay, here we go.
D-W-Y.
That was a curveball for you.
He said darn it.
Jay Mars.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger. Not
Oh.
the Ben.
R-O-E-T-H-L-I-S-B-E-R-G-E-R.
I think
Correct.
That's correct. Yeah,
Yes.
well done.
Carmichael Dave. Former Giants pitcher Jeff Samardzija.
Why do I keep saying? Why do I
don't
keep
know.
taking the Lord's name in vain? Jeez, sorry. S-A-M-A-R. This is where it gets a little off the rails here. D-Z-I-J-A.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, that was right.
You passed out a little
That
bit.
was out of the
Aren't you
cheeks.
right?
Yeah.
That was out of the cheeks.
All right, two more for each of you.
All right.
All right, here we go. Jay Mars. Mark Teixeira.
Why couldn't you do Kotze? T-E-X-I-E-R-A.
Incorrect.
T-E-I-X. I-E-R-A? E-I-R-A.
Dang it.
Dave.
Yeah.
Noah Syndergaard.
S.
Nope.
S-Y-N-D-E-R-G-A-R-G-A-A-R-D.
Oh, way
Yeah,
to go.
thank
Got
you.
that extra
Yeah.
A in. All right, last one for you both. All right, let's do for you, Jay.
This is stressful, man.
TJ Hushmanzada.
Oh, psh. H-O-U. Z-H. M-A-N-Z-A-D-A?
No, incorrect.
Is it H-O-U-S-H-M-A-N-Z-A-D-E-H?
Close. There's a D before the Z and after.
Oh,
So
stupid.
H-O-U-S-H-M-A-N-D-Z-A-D-E-H.
That's a dumb
Dave, I think you've already won, but we're going to see if you can close this out
Close, though.
with the correct spelling of Wally Zerbiak.
I used to know that one, actually. I think I could get this if you don't.
S-C-Z-E-R-B-I-A-K?
Say that again?
S-C-Z-E-R-B-I-A-K?
Incorrect.
Oh, there's another Z in there, isn't there?
Jay Mars?
I thought it was S-Z-C-E-R-B-I-A-k, but now that sounds
It's like
That's
S.
what you-
It's like S-Z-C-Z or something, isn't it?
That's it. It's-
S-Z-C-Z-E-R-B-I-A-K.
Correct.
It's like Juszczyk, kind of the same thing
Yeah.
with the Z's.
You guys did pretty well.
Dumb French names.
I got like two right. What are you talking about?
You got Coach K. That was
You got
clever.
Coach K. That was very good. And you got, what was the other one he got?
I got Roethlisberger.
Yeah, that's
and Antoine.
That's,
And-
and
you got three.
Antoine. That's three.
Yeah.
The over-under was 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was
And
probably.
you were favored, and
I
you
was
still won.
favored. Okay, so I won.
But it was a closer game than we thought.
I think Jay beat the spread.
Oh, he definitely did. People
If
won.
you bet on me, you lost.
Right. Unless it was just a win.
Unless it was the money line.
Yeah, if you did the money line, you were fine.
I ripped up my stuff. That was really stressful.
I don't like it. Made me sound like a stupid.
No, because you want to do one, the one that don't even do it because I can't even participate. My sports weakness is if you were ever do numbers. Like like
jersey numbers.
Yeah, I know Mickey Mantle and I know Will Clark and a couple of Kings.
I'm pretty good on jersey numbers.
That's what I'm saying. That would be the equivalent. I would not. It wouldn't even be fun.
Maybe a future game where Jay Mars is the 1 seed.
As long as all of them are Joe Montana, Will Clark, Chris Webber, and guys like that.
Remember Chris Webber were in Detroit.
Number 4,
88.
Yep.
See?
Remember Chris Webber were in Washington.
4.
And the other one?
4.
Nope.
44?
2.
Oh, yeah, 2.
Mitch Richmond wore 2. Pacers wore 16.
What did Mitch wear in Golden State?
He wore 16.
23.
Damn it. I know that Michael Jordan wore 45. And then did he wear like 70-something in Washington?
No, he wore 23.
No, he did.
It was the famous 74.
What number did Sean Bradley wear with the 76ers?
11.
76.
Oh. He wore the number 1.
What number is Luka?
Luka is
come on. That's easy.
7.
77.
70. You didn't let me finish. 77.
How do you spell it?
John Kruk once said that he was the only player in sports history to ever wear his picture as his number because he was 8. I actually thought that was a great line. News and notes when we get back. Right after this word from American Energy.
Yeah, sorry, that's on me. Yeah. I was flustered.
AMERICANENERGY.
Incorrect. You forgot a space.
AIR. DOTCOM. AmericanEnergyAir.com. No spaces in there. What's up? By the way, I'm actually secretly a kind of a stand for national anthems. Like, I like to listen to other countries' national anthems. Oh, Canada is a really good one. I think we've talked about this before. I just heard it the other day. It was on one of my playlists. Who had a really...
playlist?
No, I have a national anthems playlist.
Oh,
who has really... And it'll bring up, like, new national anthems. What? I'm not going to say this during the spot. When we come back, I'll tell you what an underrated national anthem is.
That was next week's Fun and Games.
It's not going to be a popular one, by the way. Is it to name your national anthem? American Energy Air, always there for you since 1981. Local. Yeah, that's right. They are local. What? Support local business. But you don't want to support local business just because they're local. I mean, just because they're local doesn't mean, hey, they automatically should get your business. But what if they have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? What if they've been doing this since 1981? What if they offer you a $49 air conditioning tune-up and you get a free indoor air quality test? All you got to do is just ask them for it. Yeah, how about that? The heat is coming. We got a taste of it last week while Jason was golfing. Get a tune-up. Make sure your air conditioner runs efficiently and save money in the long run. Odds are, I'm no expert, but odds are you'll make that $49 back this summer simply because you got your filters cleaned out and you got everything tuned up. Yeah. At American Energy Air and Solar, their goal, they want to exceed, not meet, exceed your expectations, unlike what I did during the spelling bee. They want to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing your experience, making your home comfort system as efficient as possible. Oh, Jason Ross just rimmed out the vitamin water bottle. And can he do the next segment, or is he too ashamed? I don't know. We'll tell you after you go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. That's AmericanEnergyAir.com, or call them at 916-520-9990. 916-520-9990. Don't tell them Jason Ross sent you unless you want it to miss. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
More. When it breaks, we have it first. KHTK Breaking News.
Now we got breaking news from the J-Mar Sports Desk. This is interesting.
Brent Musburger.
What about him?
Jackpot, baby.
Legendary play-by-play announcer.
Voice of NFL Today for so many years on CBS.
And now the former voice of the Las Vegas Raider, Brent Musburger, stepping down.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Was that it?
You see his quote?
No.
It's pretty good. So many thanks to the Raiders organization for fond memories. I'll miss broadcast partner Lincoln Kennedy and the radio production crew. What's next? Well, I hear Mike Trout might step down as commissioner of his fantasy football league.
That's
you never know.
Well done. That's well done.
Brent's in his 80s now, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm stepping down because I'm old and I want to, live out my life and have fun, or if there's a thing. I don't know. But Brent Musburger, I wasn't a fan of his as Raiders play-by-play, to be honest with you. I just wasn't.
I liked the guy before him.
Yeah, I know.
Papa.
Like, listen, I'm not going to lie. The first thing I thought when I heard that news is, oh, God, are we losing Greg?
Yeah, right.
I don't think he's going to Vegas. Greg's our guy.
I don't think Greg's leaving the Bay Area, period, at this point.
Greg's our guy, right? Belongs to. What's hot, what's not right now?
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Al Horford's our hottie this morning. Hey-o.
Hey.
Al Horford played in 141 playoff games before making his finals debut, the most in NBA history.
Wow.
Horford scored a team-high 26 points last night, and his 6 threes were a career high in any game, as well as the most threes in an NBA Finals debut of all time. Old Al.
Way to go, Al.
Who's not hot?
Who's not hot?
Joseph Girardi, who is out. He's manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. 3 of Girardi's 4 worst seasons during his 14-year MLB career as manager in terms of win percentage have come in the last 3 years with Philadelphia. In 2020, he had a 46.7. 2021, 506, and a 2022 this year was just 431.
Does he ever coach or manage again?
Yes.
Think so?
Yeah. Think so.
His name's Joe. We'll be back with the Yankees when they let go of Aaron Boone after they lose in the ALCS this year.
Our thoughts with Joe Girardi today. Super. Wow.
Right.
Wow, dude.
It's true.
I mean,
Oh, my.
Wow, you got the. Oh, my God.
I've never gotten that.
We got the JD Memorial double hand wave.
Yes.
Woo.
I am furious.
He is. That's furious for Jason.
Yeah. And fast.
He almost said the D word or the H word to you.
Heck.
Heckfire.
News?
Yeah.
Stand by on this frequency.
It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
As always, we start out with the days of the year today. Today is, and Jason, I'll let you choose. I think Jay chose last time. It is National Repeat Day, Chocolate Macaroon
Can you
Day.
say that one again?
National Repeat Day.
Oh, okay.
It's National Repeat Day. National Chocolate Macaroon Day, National Egg Day, World Bicycle Day, or World Clubfoot Day.
Let's go with National Egg Day.
National Egg Day, hashtag National Egg Day. The nutrient-rich food has gone back and forth with science and nutritionists over the decade as to just how many eggs are too many for a healthy diet. However, at 75 calories and 5 grams of fat, it's an easy choice to satisfy hunger, too. Eggs are easily seasoned and pair well with vegetables to increase the nutritional value of a meal. Eggs are an essential ingredient to baked goods and are a part of our everyday diets. There's so much to celebrate in these small packages.
Do you ever have brown eggs?
You mean like with a brown shell?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
I don't know if they don't taste any different.
No, we got them. We get our eggs by the pallet, basically.
Right.
There's 60 eggs at a time. My wife will eat eggs every single day. And I went and got it last time, and they were out of the white eggs, so I got the brown eggs. And Yeah, it was the first time I remember eating brown eggs, and they were a little smaller than the white eggs. I don't know if that had to do with the shell or the or they just were smaller. I don't know, but they were fine. They were good.
Why is if you break an egg into a bowl and you get part of a shell?
Yeah,
that is so difficult.
It's the worst. The smaller the shell, the worse.
Yeah.
Which is why if you have a measuring cup or something, it's always a good idea, especially if you're making like. The worst is when you're making like a cake or something, you break the egg in there in the shell, and then you have to just dig through. Always break your eggs into a little ramekin or something first, so that way you don't lose the whole dish, and then just pour it in.
Ramekin, okay.
Well, those eggs are so funny, but they were. If you're looking to post pictures of your eggs, you can go to hashtag National Egg Day. National Egg Day, and lay that out there. I'm sorry, I got to see what the hell is National Repeat Day. Seriously, I'm going to read it exactly how it's read,
okay.
Jason, and I'll show you. This is not me making a joke. This is how they wrote it out, the official layout. Observed on June 3rd, National Repeat Day could be an opportunity for some and a bad omen for others. Repeating a foot massage or a day with a dear friend would make this holiday special. Repeating a root canal or Hurricane Katrina are not suggested for this day.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, let's go against
you
that.
You think so?
Wow.
Anyways, have the same meal for lunch as you do for supper. Who says supper anymore? Are we in Omaha? Yeah, watch Groundhog Day, they say. And, so many more. Speaking of food. Yay or nay? Apparently, there's a recipe making the rounds. It is BLT hot dogs. And no joke, it's bacon, it's lettuce, it's tomatoes.
Yes, so far.
On a brioche bun.
Okay,
maybe
all good.
Onions on there as well.
Fine.
And I would try that. That's a lot of not nitro. What is it called? Nitrates.
What?
The bacon and the hot dog.
Okay, so yeah, everything you said was without the hot dog.
Oh,
But
the hot dog.
Okay.
Favorite? Do you have a specialty hot dog that you enjoy?
No. I like to eat hot dogs, but I don't enjoy. For me, it seems like the most time you ever have them is at a game.
What do you put on your hot dog? Oh, God. Really? I mean, okay, fine. I caught my son putting mayonnaise on his hot dog the other day, and I almost booted him from the house. That's his real.
Why is it out of bounds?
Yeah, I agree. Why?
It's an old man thing. I get it. But really, mayonnaise and ketchup are not acceptable hot dog toppings. You know how I know that? It's an unwritten rule I made
the
up.
National Hot Dog Association
NHC, buddy.
said you can do it.
What is acceptable? Mustard?
Mustard, onions, relish, questionable, sauerkraut. That's it.
Ketchup.
Onions, yes.
Mayonnaise.
I will say this: specialty hot dogs are a different story. I really do. First off, I enjoy cheese in my dogs. I have not tried a ranch.
I haven't either. I was thinking
ranch
is good.
I love
everything.
it. I love me a Chicago dog. Chicago dog with the hot dog, the tomato, the relish, the sport peppers, and the celery salt. We were talking about that the other day. Celery salt. But I'll tell you, my favorite hot dog going right now in honor of Doug Christie is the Seattle dog. And I'm sure it can be made in many different ways. The way I make it is, you know, like a brick of cream cheese, you slice lengthwise a little line of it, and you put that on the hot dog bun, right? Then you place the dog in there, all right? Some fried onions on top, and then jalapenos.
Okay, I'd be good with all that, but probably the jalapenos.
The cream cheese helps with the jalapenos. Which feed to me? What, Jay?
Oh, nothing.
No, what?
Nothing.
Do you have a specialty hot dog?
Yeah, Sacramento dog.
What's in that?
You've never heard of the Sacramento? Seriously?
The Sacramento dog.
Explain it.
Just ketchup.
Ketchup? Is that like, you mean like what our basketball team is constantly trying to do in the standings?
Got
That's
it.
why it's called the Sacramento dog.
You got it.
Just play ketchup.
Every time I laugh hard, I have a runny nose.
Why are tomatoes allowed on hot dogs but ketchup isn't? They're not the same.
It's just
it's not the same thing.
It's just
and I like both.
I like ketchup. I don't do tomatoes. I don't like the texture. I'm a textured
I
person.
understand that. Tomatoes are a little. Plus, I get anyone else when you eat too much tomatoes or anything like that get little white bumps on their tongue that hurt for like 3 days. I have that. I get exploded taste buds with acidity.
Huh.
I've had them checked out because I was like, oh, tongue cancer? Like, seriously, that's what I thought. I went and had it
something
checked
else
out.
at first. But
No, it's a little 916-339-1140 if you get those little white bumps when you eat tomatoes. Taco Bell Mexican Pizza's back, right? Isn't that neat? Yeah, it is. But, nope, it's gone. Again, pulled from the menu. Why? Well, here's a thought, Taco Bell. You just had to pull it from the menu because it's selling out everywhere. They don't have enough.
it's the old Popeye's chicken sandwich game. Create chaos.
The problem here is that pulling the Mexican pizza in the first place is like the worst thing since New Coke for old people out there that remember New Coke. And then they went with Coca-Cola Classic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. Don't change what works, pal. All right, we'll be back. Monday. Full week. Well, no. Well, all of us are together. Have a great weekend, everybody. Jim Rome is next. For Jay Mars, for Jason Ross, for Spelling Bees Everywhere, I'm Carmichael Dave. We'll see you Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. Please be safe. Love you. Bye. Bye. Now.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Flex. It's a better way to watch. Well, the A's went out and revamped their bullpen over the past weekend, adding the left-hander Sam Selman and two righties with big arms, Domingo Tapia and Parker Markell. Arms the A's hope to harness because those guys have had issues in the past with command. But, for instance, on Memorial Day, Tapia pitched the ninth inning, hit 99 miles an hour twice, topping out at 99.4. Hi, Ken Korak here with news on how to unlock incredible value and entertainment with Xfinity. Did you know that Xfinity Internet not only offers fast, reliable speeds to fit any budget, but you also get the Flex 4K streaming box for free. You get all